And good afternoon, Trojan fans, and welcome high above the playing field in the Caesars Superdome, where it is time for state championship football in Division I Select. I am Doug Gann with 446Sports, joined by my broadcast partner all year long of Nick Magnano. And look, we're doing this Tiger style today because LHSAA does not allow us to be on the field or videoing these things, so you get stuck with the two of us on here. So before anybody hits in the comments, get it off those ugly dudes. We'd love to get it off these ugly dudes, but we don't have that choice in there. Again, welcome everybody to the New Orleans, Louisiana Caesars Superdome. Look, you get caught up in it. We're up here in the radio booth, high above it all, looking across the field at the Trojans that come into this. A lot of purple and gold all together in it because Karr is that color as well. Once again, a big 446 Sports welcome to all of you here. I am Doug Gadd, and I want to take this opportunity to welcome in my broadcast partner, Nick Magnano. Nick, welcome high above the field.
It's great to be here, Doug. 69 degrees, 76% humidity, dew point 61, east wind at 12 that we don't have to worry about inside here. Just a beautiful day for travel. We came early. My group came early this morning and didn't run into any snags. It was a very, very smooth run, so hopefully all the Trojan fans who came down this morning had the same travel fortune.
Look, Nick called us about 4 o'clock this morning and said, we left a little early, we're leaving. I was like, well, okay. We made it up yesterday. And, Nick, did you get an opportunity to look at some of the highlights and the things that we did yesterday?
Yes. You guys did a great job. Appreciate the updates. And for people who are listening, there's going to be, different updates throughout. But most importantly, let's stay focused on these Trojans and these Karr Cougars from New Orleans here.
Look, this is the premier matchup. Ruston and Central are certainly set to do battle after this one. Division I Select, Division I Non-Select, and it is going to be quite a day. Have had 6 state champions crowned throughout Division I, II, and III, select and non-select. That Cecilia game last night was one. Dunham stood out yesterday. The Shaw, all of them, you go on and on. There's not been one game that's disappointed out here, and I don't think this is going to be any different, Nick.
No, they've all been very close matchups. Obviously, as a Trojan fan, I'd like for this one to be put away by us early. But no, that's why you're here, number 1 versus number 2. Great competition, and that's the way it's been the whole weekend so far, and look forward to it.
Karr survived Catholic of Baton Rouge 21-19. They beat up on St. Thomas More 42-14. In that game, St. Thomas More led that one 14-0. You look at the other side of the bracket, Alexandria got past Byrd, they got past John Curtis, and they've done it not what you would expect. They came out throwing the ball a lot early this year, balanced, I guess, but throwing it a lot more than they have. And it's been the JT Lindsay show of late. Yes,
for sure. And LSU signee probably, as BK said, Brian Kelly said at the press conference after they signed, probably the hottest high school athlete, football player right now he said in the country, and we would agree with that as well.
We've been saying that same thing ourselves. So JT nearing 2,500 yards, had a good game against Karr last season in the quarterfinals. Trojans have won all 13 games this year. That means the last team that beat them?
Yes, sir.
Karr in the quarterfinals a year ago. And talked to Coach Bachman a little bit last night, talked to him some this morning. And focus, determination, business as usual. I don't think there are enough of those adjectives, Nick, that you can describe to tell the mindset of Coach Bachman and his entire staff.
Yeah, for sure. This is what they focus on, and they believe in it as well, and there's no reason not to. I was telling a good friend of mine last night, he's a Neville grad. He was asking how I thought today would go, and I didn't give him any predictions, but I said this group of young men and this coaching staff, they've handled every situation up to this point, and that's the biggest compliment I could give to them, is that no matter what the offense they were running, what the defense they were running, who they were playing against, the reputation, everything. They have rose, they've rose above all of it, and I think this could be, a big day for them.
Looking forward to it. Was part of that 2020 state championship call that didn't end like that we wanted it to. But look, we're down in New Orleans at the Superdome, and couldn't have got here without all of our year-long sponsors. But there were a group that got together that helped us get down here as well. Walker Mazda was there. Quibido's big help to us. It picked up that plate. Did you see the plate of goodies, that party tray we had yesterday?
Yeah. Just a few items as that text message was. Little internal grief there by our 446 text group.
Of course, attorney Stephen Spurgeon on board, proud supporter of Ash football. And our wardrobe today provided by our friends at Jerry Lee and Company. They're on the corner there of on Jackson Street. Go by there and see the folks at Jerry Lee and Company. And look, may have to go back there because they tailor everything right there. I mean, the sizes and all of that is just right. But then I get on that tray of boudin and cracklings and things like that yesterday morning. So we'll see. But a big shout out to all of you guys here that made it possible for us. As we told you earlier, you're stuck with Nick and I on the video today. Hey, look, if you want to go, LHSAA Network has it if you can find it somehow. But you can also get over to nfhs.com and you can pay it. It's a subscription, $11.99 a month. Get it for the weekend and cancel it on Monday morning. People do it all the time. They don't. I mean, you think they have more on and off people that are there. We'll keep up with everything on our Wallace High Associates scoreboard along the bottom of it. Of course, we appreciate our title sponsor, Explore Alexandria Pineville. If you're looking for anything to do or want to know what's happening in our area, check out the folks at explorealexandriapineville.com. Of course, Valex Federal Credit Union, our Wallace High Associates scoreboard, and you can keep up to date on all of the championships that have been won so far on our Saddlers Towing scrolling scoreboard. Whew. It's a mouthful.
You want me to talk a second?
Well, then go ahead and take it away.
No,
yes.
I will say something that's pretty amazing, and my assumption is that the Ash spirit groups are going to be able to do the same. But Karr right now, they're taking all the spirit groups are taking pictures, group pictures on the field by the LHSAA, crew, and it looks like the Trojan, spirit groups are going to be able to do the same. These are memories for those young people as well. They put in a lot of work. They do a lot of work as well as the football players and the sponsors and support staff and everybody involved. So congratulations to them as well.
This is a photographer's dream. We've seen so many of them out here. Of course, ran into Big Zig. He's going to be up here a little bit later, and we'll visit with him some. We'll talk to Jordan Taylor of Under the Lights at halftime. We'll talk to the Ruston broadcast crew at halftime.
Oh, excellent.
They've got a big one coming up right after this, and they're right. Well, they're going to be right there beside us. They're not right there beside us right now. But, guys, could not do any of this without the love and support of all our Trojan fans. And when I asked Nick, I said, hey, Nick, let's do the audio side of it. He said, well, people can just watch it. Why are they going to listen to us? Yeah. Why, indeed. Sit back and enjoy this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Yesterday was a lot of fun. Thursday we didn't get to make it up here, but we're excited.
We had a
little bit of a show that was
we
going
had
on
an event Thursday night.
Boy, was that not fun?
That was awesome. Thank you to Mayor Jacques Roy and the city of Alexandria, also for the city providing the protection and the what do they call that exactly, Doug?
The escort.
The escort,
yes.
excuse me.
Yes.
And then also
Nick's normally in the back of the
car.
That's right.
Whoa, hold on a second.
But you agreed with it.
I thought you said I'm usually in the background, not in the. Yes, I am usually in the background, but not in the back of the car.
That's what you get for agreeing with me too early.
Yeah, but Hotheads.
Yeah, they supplied the food out there in Hannah Jones. Okay, the true community came out and were a part of that, and that's really what you like to see in all of this. I saw so many posts and so many pictures and so many people lining up along the line as the Trojans made it out, and they said, "Look, let's follow them along the route." And I said, "Well, the route, they come out of where the park and take a right and hit the circle and they're gone. Nobody's there to see them. So you got to make the loop around and get there. So we're excited about it here. Our La Bistro Coffee and Waffle Bar countdown to coin toss. I'm looking around for our friends with the La Bistro stuff. And
home turf, brother. We were at home turf. I will say this. Also, the owner of Hotheads, Bart Vanderhoven, who's an Ash alum, played golf against him, never beat him, but a very proud Ash alum, great golfer, and I think he was my graduating class, 95. So appreciate him, and And just Doug Young Nursery for supplying the poinsettias. They've been a big hit. We still have some available. If you're interested in that, get in touch with us at Doug Young Nursery, especially on our Facebook. It's probably the easiest way initially. But yeah, just a great night Thursday night.
Or if you need, I'll give you Nick's cell phone,
Yes,
and you can just call him.
That's fine.
Anytime. They're open 24 hours a day. You can reach out. No, don't call him after about 9 o'clock because you'll get sleepy Nick on that one.
If our 446 group would understand that, we might be okay.
And indeed, we don't. Looking forward to it, Nick. Let's talk about how the Trojans got here. They sit at 13-0. Both of these teams are sitting at, I think Carr's at 12-0.
Yeah,
because they had 1 week they were off. But let's take a look at how both teams got here.
Yeah, that's correct. Man, now that the camera's on me, I can't, people don't realize that this is just off of memory.
That you don't have this off the top of your head.
But I will say this. I mean, obviously your Trojans 13-0. They were 5-0 in District 2 5A. And, talk about District 2 5A, the Ruston Bobcat, they're playing after this game,
right.
So it's a possibility you may have 2 state champions out of that district. But
don't think that hasn't been discussed by radio personalities. The teams, the coaches, you won't hear that from them at all. But we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, but September 6th, we started this season. West Feliciana went there and won. Then had Union Parish right after, who was a defending state champion.
Right.
Go to Union Parish, win that game. Big home opener against Destrehan, a perennial non-select Division I power who was also in the semifinals of this year. Opelousas, go to Opelousas, who's a defending, select 2, non-select 2 state champs.
Let me stop you in the middle of this real quick. As my mind as you're talking about this, and you talk to one of the coaches, and they'll tell you, yeah, we had that third down stopper. Yeah, we had that red zone possession that did things. And I'm thinking, yeah, we went to Mama's Fried Chicken. Dang, we missed the smokehouse in St. Francisville. Anyway, on you go. You're starting to see a tone for this.
You're right. And we had homecoming game against Manny.
Right.
Then start district and West Monroe.
I think that game cost us what would have been the number 1 seed. Manny goes winless on the season. No fault of anybody's at all on there. But if you get a couple of 3 wins out of a Manny team, I think that's enough to catapult you against Carr. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, unfortunately, with the new rules, we were able to stay at home the whole whole way through the playoffs, being the number 2 as well. West Monroe, I know West Monroe was a little down this year, but big victory there, getting that first regular season victory against them, and then Pineville across the river were able to take care of them. Ruston.
Yeah.
I think Ruston game really catapult these young men into the confidence to
I believe so. And it was a time you could say what you want about Ruston in there because they had lost the week before to Neville. But Ruston is who Ruston is. They're the defending state champions. And I don't care. There's no asterisk. There's no anything. Team went out there and took care of business in that one.
And I would say that the loss to Neville, really made them, Ruston step back. So you definitely got their biggest punch because, they weren't just coasting along, still undefeated. So, but yeah, big win there. It was back and forth. Go to Ouachita Parish and was worried about a little bit of a letdown never let down. Great work there.
That was one of those games where we used to get the Mike Tyson fights back in the day when he was early on, and you'd spend 6-7 hours preparing and cooking and getting ready for it, and as soon as the bell rings, that fight's over.
Yeah,
and this was the case.
You're correct. Great point there. Then Neville for the district champion, 9-0, battle at the Butch.
That's right.
And to be honest with you, it's not much different than the Ouachita game.
It was a dominant performance in there. And, man, and so we look at it, Nick, of how well and favorable the schedule fell this year. We're home against Destrehan. We were home against West Monroe. We were home against Ruston. We were home against Neville. And those are great things because it got you home throughout the playoffs. But next year, we travel to Destrehan, we travel to West Monroe, we travel to Ruston, and we travel to Neville on there. But how much of that matters tonight?
Nothing.
Not at all. None of it matters. This is one game for all of the marbles in this. And, man, Nick, as that clock continues to count down, it's at 7 minutes. We were talking the other day. I'm glad this is not the 7 o'clock game. We finally got settled. After we got home from that Cecilia game last night, it was probably 11:30 when we got checked into the hotel and finally got to sleep after doing some work on the laptop. At about 1 o'clock, alarm didn't need it to ring this morning. Hopped up and we were going and bidding and waited 45 minutes of the valet, but that's a whole nother story. We are here indeed. to say the least, Nick. But the playoffs, with us going 10-0, winning the first 2-5A district championship ever for Alexandria, got us home games. Got a bye in the first round,
yes,
and then 3 home playoff games.
Yes, Evangel, which big emotional game for Coach Bachman, his family, you know, and the people from the Shreveport area. But they didn't let the emotion, you know, that part affect them. I mean, went out, took care of business against Evangel.
It was a great embrace by
Yes,
Coach Denny Duran and Coach Thomas Bachman. And Coach will tell you, he was a friend, a mentor, a coach, a pastor, all of those things, and just to watch that unfold at the end of the game, and to see guys on the coaching staff that he in fact played with.
Yes.
Chase Pittman, give him a call, Brock Berlin, all of these guys were reaching out to him and talking to him, and yeah, it was emotion, but he did not let that get in the way.
Right. Then a very difficult Bird team comes to the Butch, and you know, gave us a little fits a little bit, you know, unconventional offense, but once again, your Trojans rose above that, you know, took that game as well, and go to the semifinals against probably a team that we didn't expect when the brackets first came out, thinking that was going to be an Acadiana, you know, matchup. But look, you know, John Curtis, who, what'd you say, 50 years in a row, had been in the quarters.
28 state championships,
right.
44 trips to the semifinals. They were, or I'm sorry, 34 trips to the semifinals. They were 28-5. Or I'm sorry, no, I was right. They were 44. They were 38-5.
That's correct.
They go out 38-6 after the Trojans are now 2-0 in semifinal appearances.
Yes, yes, excellent work by them. And that game started out tough, but I mean, they're a well-disciplined team. They're athletic, and but boy, when the floodgates open, they open in the second quarter. You know, and here we are, Doug. We're playing against the number 1 seed, Edna Karr, who last time they were in a state championship game in 4A was at Northwestern.
Yep, that's
you know,
exactly
in 2020.
Right.
Last time they were here and won, it was 2019. So none of these guys on either one of these rosters have been in this dome on this field.
And that's what we talked about too. Is the tradition is out the window. All of that's over with. Yes, folks are coming in here, and yes, they're cheering, and yes, a lot of the fans have been here before. But there's not one single person on the Trojan roster that was a part of that.
Right.
Matter of fact, where was JT Lindsay?
8th grade.
He was sitting in the stands.
Yep.
as he came up and watched that and said, you know, and we've shared that story with him. Oh, by the way, too, happy birthday, JT Lindsay. Turned 18 years old yesterday and will be off to LSU. Boy, they're starting to feel that tunnel across from us. And you start to see the first of the Trojans making their way out. If you don't have chill bumps yet, I promise you'll get them as you see the Trojans get behind that banner. We've got Jason and we've got Brett that are both out there on the field, so we will have plenty of highlights along the way. 3.5 minutes away from getting the festivities. They'll present something to Coach Bachman. They'll present something to the principals. They'll flip the coin, and we'll get this thing going. All right,
your coaching staff in traditional just pants and hoodies.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just a game. It's just another game.
It's not just another game. It is to them. And, look, those guys are as locked in as I've seen anyone. And we've been around a lot of these coaching staffs over the last 48 hours or so, and it's a little different. There's an intensity that's in here, but this place is going to erupt. Good crowd that has made it up from Alexandria and all around. You'll see Karr come out. Karr, one of the most storied entrances of all of them, when we're unable to show you that. But sit back and enjoy what we have going on. It is going to be a tremendous day of football. Coach Bachman's favorite thing to say, though, is look, our goal this year was not to make it to the Dome. Our goal this year was to win a state championship. And so behind senior J.T. Lindsay, behind senior Vaughn Darbone, behind senior members of an offensive line, 2 senior receivers, a couple of dynamic sophomore quarterbacks, big senior tight end. The list goes on and on. You've got a good mixture. They're gathering up behind the gate. Trojans in all white. They've got the purple numbers lined in gold, the white helmets on. And we'll wait for them to bust through that banner, and we'll make the call. And here come your Ash Trojans.
48 minutes of football and the rest of your life to remember, Doug.
Look, this is just this is something. Again, we want to thank our friends at Quibido's, law office of Stephen Spurgeon. Jerry Lee and company, and, of course, our friends at Quibitos for making it possible. You see all of our other sponsors that are there, and we'll get some more commercials in. But man, I'm telling you, the Trojans are ready to go. I think I have to dust off the binoculars, though, Nick, because it's going to be just one of those. I've got to quit. Folks texting us on there too, and so this is one of the folks. If you're on the NFHS network or LHS, if you found it, then you're able to see what's coming out with Karr. But Nick, I don't even know if I'm going to need those binoculars on there. Let's put that away. Tell me who playmakers are for Edna Karr. What are we looking at when we see Edna Karr?
Well, man-child, number 14.
Yeah, Teron Francis.
Yes.
Going to LSU.
Yes, going to. And you know what? We're going to cheer for him in the purple and gold next year.
Next year. We'll do that.
Yeah, he'll be in the same huddle as JT Lindsay. Number 1, John Johnson, their quarterback, sophomore. Hey, started as a freshman, Doug, last year. And, dynamic player.
And we saw him in that game.
Yeah, probably not as accurate a passer as he could be, but definitely great with his feet. Well,
I'll tell you this. Entrance is a little more amped up than it was in the quarterfinal game in Algiers a year ago.
I'll be honest with you, it was kind of boring last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's kind of cool here.
And look, the Trojans don't care. They are off to the side getting as fired up as you will find them getting pumped up. This is not about Karr's entrance to them. This is about the Ash Trojans. And Karr staring over, barking at the Trojan sideline.
One thing I noticed in film, Doug, and it was they didn't shake hands. A couple of them didn't shake hands during the coin toss.
Right.
In the quarters and semifinals, and just curious to see because a person that I know really well said that's actually a personal foul.
Is it really?
Yes.
If you don't,
that's your first one. Now you don't get penalized by the yardage, but that's your first one by an individual. So if you get a second one, you're out. So I'm curious.
It's good to be able to throw it back to our rules experts in the home office.
So I'm curious to see how that's gonna play out in this game and see if that's gonna be the case. Like I said, it might be a little different here on this stage with the cameras, but we're gonna see.
We're gonna turn it over and let you listen to what's going on here pregame. And Nick and I will join you back with audio when the coin toss happens.
Let's begin the matchup in the LHSAA Football Prep Classic presented by the All-State Sugar Bowl and the New Orleans Saints. This is a battle of the purple and gold, the undefeated and Edna Karr. The Louisiana High School
We're going to come back up to the booth now and get ready to get this thing underway. Would be remiss if we didn't have an opportunity for our keys to the game. Brought to you by Baskin Robbins. No, I'm sorry. I'll keep that vanilla joke to myself. I think you've been working on it for about 7 or 8 days now. Nick, hit us with the keys to the game.
Yeah, number one for our offense. We need to rush for 250-plus yards in this matchup. JT, Vaughn, Max, whoever, Jimmy, get involved. If we keep the ball away from that Edna Karr offense and get 250 plus in our rush, and I think that's a victory for your Trojans. Also, we're going to need our sophomore quarterbacks make 3 or 4 critical plays. Maybe with their feet, maybe with their arms. Doesn't have to be anything really big, but just maybe some moments here. We're going to have to, like in the semifinal, where they just had to make those throws.
Indeed, it will. And number 3, what do you have for
number
us?
2, defense.
Yes, number 2. I'm sorry, that's right.
No worries. Pressure John Johnson, the quarterback. We need him looking at our rush and not down the field.
Right.
Because when they give him time, they're athletic enough to where they'll definitely get some separation. It's just the way it is.
And 3 receivers that are there, seniors, signed with LSU, signed with Louisiana Tech, and signed with Tulane.
Yes, and that's expected at this level. And so if we can get him focusing on our rush and not his receivers downfield, that'd be great.
So the old days of radio, when there was no any of that, we had to make sure that we gave down and distance and score and time. The score we'll keep up with, down and distance and the clock we won't. So we'll make sure that you have that.
Sure.
Okay, we'll keep you up on all of that. So when you see our Wallace High Associates scoreboard down at the bottom of them, you say, how much time's left or what's it? Just know that the score's right, and just listen in, tune in, and we'll have everything that you need. Again, we are audio only on this. This is the Chris Blair, the Chris Blair style booth cam. But anyway, I had to answer a couple of folks on there. So give us number 3, Nick.
Number 3 overall, and this is the old coach in me.
I got you. I feel you.
The old coach in me. This field's 53 1/3 yards wide, and it's 120 yards long. It don't matter what's around it, what's on top of it. It's still the same size field.
Lord, you are Alpha and Omega. You are the beginning and the end. Lord, you are the Lord of Lords and the King of Kings. And we say thank you. Thank you for such a wonderful opportunity. Thank you for bringing us to this point. Lord, you were with us at the beginning, and now you're here. Competition is to bring out the best in us.
And partner, that is such a fine tradition as a prayer and our national anthem beforehand, and it instantly got electric inside the Superdome. Trojans will call. I expect them to. They want the football. They're gonna more than likely get it. Of course, I was wrong the last time. Nick, hit me with the captains for tonight's contest.
Yeah, for Edna Karr, number 2, Deshaun Smith. Number 5, Oliver Mitchell. Number 6, Tyrick Balagia. And number 7, Arsenio Bolds. And for your Trojans, left to right is Jacoby and Guillory.
No, I wish, Jacoby
excuse me, Jacoby. First time I've done that all year.
Absolutely it is, but he'd be a great one to have out there.
I was talking about him earlier. Excuse me, Jacoby. Jacoby Morris.
So big shout out to Jacoby, who's listening as always.
Yeah, Darius Washington, Tanner Townsend, and the aforementioned JT Lindsay. Sorry, Jacoby, but yeah, number 72, Jacoby Morris.
There you have it.
I'm a little nervous. I
get it.
I wasn't that nervous until the.
Well, you had to wear long pants today.
Yeah, until the national anthem just started. I am sweating a little bit too, boss man.
We're able to take a look at them up on the screen here. Handshakes for all this time, so avoiding any sort of anything. And boy, our guys are right into it. You can't see it on the screen, but I saw Jason walking around. Good to see Jason Crooks and Brett Stallsby down on the field. This is out of the Monroe Association. Toss is there. Edna Karr has won the toss. And you got to think Edna Karr wanted the football as well. They've got it and they've deferred. So the Trojans will take it. They're trying to do that little daily double there right before halftime. Folks, it's been a long time since the scrimmages against Acadiana, the Jamboree against Sterlington, all the non-district games, the 5-0 district championship, the 3 playoff wins, and a 13-0 game in this one. But coin toss is there. Trojans will receive, and we'll get that high-powered Trojan offense out onto the field. Again, a big thanks for all of you joining us as part of our La Bistro Coffee and Waffle Bar countdown to coin toss. Doug Gann alongside of Nick Magnano bringing you the audio-only version of tonight's contest. We won't have the video of it at all, but we'll have highlights throughout the evening. Stay tuned to our Facebook page where some of you are listening to it, and you'll be able to get that. Going back deep to receive, of course, Darius Washington and JT Lindsay. On to kick for them. Is that Castillon? That's the kicker?
Yes.
That is number 4.
No, I'm sorry. No. They have a different kickoff guy. It's 82, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see here. Sorry about that. 85, 80. Come.
One of those
That's
guys,
a long
anyway.
ways. That's
Look,
a long ways down there, boss man.
It's Jaden Hunter, number 85.
Yeah, 85. Okay.
Is who it is. So JT's to the far side, closest to the Trojans. Again, the Trojans in all white. They've got the purple numbers lined in gold white helmets with that Ash logo on there. Edna Karr, gold pants, purple shirt, gold numbers, and those gold hats. And partner, it's been a long season.
Yes, sir.
Here we go,
Let's
brother.
do this.
Let's go to work and let's get the Trojans home with a state championship. 48 minutes standing in the way, Nick.
Yep. The rest of your life to remember, brother. Coach Parmley used to tell us that. Never made it to this level, but would have loved to have gotten one of these for him.
Well, for the final time in high school football in the 2024 season, as the Chills start to work our way over, we are underway. Foot into that one, going to scoot down the line and into the end zone, and will be a touchback there. And the Trojans will come out and get things going from the 20-yard line here. Trojan starters, Carson Sellers at quarterback, JT Lindsay at running back, Darius Washington and Jimmy Duncan at wideouts. They'll be joined by Alex Fontenot. Tanner Townsend is the tight end. Price, Morris, Pearl, Reed, and Lofton across that front line. Aiden Price, Jacoby Morris, Caleb Pearl, Connor Reed, and Peter Lofton will have defensive starters when they make their way around. Right now, the Trojans come out with 2 receivers to the top. It is Darius Washington to the top, Jimmy Duncan to the near side. H-back is offset. That is Thibodeau, it looks like. Handoff goes to JT, and he's met after just a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, first carry of the game for JT, 2 yards off the left, right behind the left guard there, the aforementioned Jacoby Morris.
You'll see Hawkins, Adams, Anderson, Lewis, Bragalia, Bolds, Martin, Williams, Haywood, Morris, and Hall as the starters defensively for Edna Karr. Carson Sellers back to pass now, looking to the near side. It's up and it's intercepted, and that's got a chance to go to the house. 10-5, touchdown, pick 6, and Sellers' first pass attempt goes to the house in the hands of Aiden Hall, and that is exactly not what you wanted to have happen. Sailed that pass, Nick.
Yeah, overthrew Darius, who was open on that little inside curl route, but hey, it's still early in the game, and we need to make those adjustments, and this coaching staff will.
Indeed, they will, but my goodness, that's not what you wanted to have happen right off the bat. We are just 33 seconds into this when Sellers looks out to the flat, overshoots, and Darius catches that for a first down. Edna Karr, snap, kick, up, and it is good. We'll be back in 60 seconds. You're watching Ash Trojan State Championship Playoffs on 446 Sports.
Are home problems turning your life upside down? Trust Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing to save the day. From keeping you comfortable to plumbing repairs and even generators, we do it all. Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, your one-stop solution for AC, plumbing, and generators. If you need us to save the day for you, call Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing or visit us online at southernairnow.com.
Back we go to live action here, and just 33 seconds ago, the Trojans were in this same situation, Nick, awaiting the kickoff, and about as disastrous as a start as you can imagine in this one. You see it right, Edna Karr 7-0 in this one, just 33 seconds into the first. A 32-yard touchdown interception return, Nick?
Yeah, but Doug, this team is, they've had setbacks all season, and they've bounced back, so looking forward to see how they react here.
Indeed, they have, and you were right. JT was wide open. I'm sorry, Darius was open out in the flat on what would have been a first down. But a lot of ifs and ands and all of those. They used to have a saying for that, and we'll stay away from it. But set to kick this one off again is Jaden Hunter. Lindsey and D-Dub back deep to receive. Now the Karr folks are making a lot of noise in this one. Hunter puts a foot into this one. Not as deep. D-Dub will come grab it at the 7-yard line. Darius now cutting to the far side. Tries to get back inside, does Darius, and he has it out to the 23-yard line, and that's where the Trojans will have their second possession.
And Doug, on that interception, it was just he's amped up. He's excited. I mean, it's just it's one of those things. I mean, it happens. So, like I said, here we go, Carson. Bounce back from this, and like I said, let's play some Trojan football.
Indeed, they'll bring that offensive line out again with Townsend moves to the H-back, so they'll set up in more of an established one. They got Fontenot, the first time in the game that we've seen Alex Fontenot. He's out near the NFL logo at the 25. JT's following that offensive line. Cornerback comes up and makes a good play, and JT's actually going to lose a yard.
Yeah, second carry there, so now he's first one for 2, and then the -1 there, and that was Hall on the tackle as well. He's an active DB out here. Second
down and 11 minutes even to go, and JT now has it to this side behind that big offensive line. Pearl was out pulling there and gets back just a couple, though.
3-yard gain since he had lost a yard, so that's going to make his 3rd and 8 here, Doug.
Ball rests at the 25-yard line, and now that flips Jimmy and D-Dub to this side. Fontenot is split out, but not very far. They bring Darius in motion across the possession here. Play action. Carson's going over the top this time. He's got Tanner down the middle and overshoots him this time. So you're right. Carson took a hard hit in the backfield too. And he got hit pretty good.
I'm really surprised that wasn't roughing the passer. But yeah, Fontenot there on the seam and just overthrew him a little bit. But You know, but like I said, I'd like to see the replay on the big screen here, unless they've already showed it of the hit he took. But very surprised, because maybe the college rules are a little different where they bring them to the ground.
Eli Fung into punt. Edna Karr likes to come after it and be aggressive. Townsend is the long snapper, gets a good one back. Eli's got it and puts a foot into this one. It's a pretty good punt.
Yeah,
he hit about the 50 and check up. Karr will field it there. Cortez unable to bring him down and splitting to the outside before the return man is brought out of bounds. Edna Karr player shaken up and is going to have to get some attention on the far side. But that was 14.
Yeah, Tyron Francis on the return there. So Edna Karr starting in positive territory.
You will see him in the purple and gold again next year. Timeout as they tend to. We're not seeing who that is over there. That is 20. Don't see the number, but look like that backside of him. We don't want
28 maybe.
And you'll see now. Oh,
friendly fire. He got hit by.
Yeah, he got hit as he was spinning around, and you see. Well, we see Xavier White on the field, but you're right. They'll start at the 46-yard line of Alexandria with their first possession up in this one with 10:15 to go in the first. Still tending to that young man. They're going to get him up now. That's so good to see, Nick. And that is number. Coach is there.
28.
Yeah.
So that's Howard Stewart. So good to see him. He's limping off. It looks like an ankle injury. I thought it might have been something to his head, the way his shoulder pad hit his fellow teammate.
First time that we will see the Edna Karr offense out here in their stake to a 7-0 lead, one score up on them. And the Trojans defense, I think, is prepared mightily for this Edna Karr offense. It is very explosive.
Yeah, 3 different linemen, Doug. You have Thibodeau, Mason, and actually looks like Everett is your starting right defense tackle.
Johnson in there. John Johnson, the QB. He is the sophomore, I believe. Is that what we saw?
Yes.
Yeah, sophomore quarterback, or junior quarterback, but a big young man. No, he's a sophomore. I was right. Back to pass, going over the top and wide open. Nobody back there. That's going to be out at the 1-yard line. How does Tyron Francis get that wide open?
Yeah, I don't know. I was looking at the defensive line, but
and they are hurrying down the line to get down there. Johnson sprinting down the field. Oh, it's that play action, and we bid on it. Thought there was a pump there. And all the way down the field, they're stopping.
They're going to review that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's one thing about the championships, or that instant replay is utilized. We saw it used yesterday throughout the day, and I don't necessarily know if it's 100% right now on that. Got some work to do on that one.
Yeah, I did get some clarification on the one for the Dunham call,
right.
And the problem was they did not have a replay that showed when he turned his back and went to the ground.
Right.
They did not have a replay to show if he maintained possession all the way through. The foot was in. The foot was in, but they did not, and they did not have a camera angle.
Right.
That was a clarification I got for that. So actually,
they may end up giving Francis the touchdown.
I think so. But on the one from yesterday, if that would have been ruled a touchdown, it would have stayed a touchdown. But you're right. I think this one might not go in Ash's favor, in Alexandria's favor.
May not need anything from the 1-yard line. And just case of worst fears realized for the Trojans the first couple of minutes into this one. And Johnson just says, I went back and I looked at it a little bit, and he just throws that little pump fake. And that brought
Jayton bid on it,
and come in, and you leave Francis wide open because you've got to have that much respect. And there wasn't a Ash defender within 20 yards of him.
Yeah.
The one thing that I didn't like yesterday was how long it took, but let's go down there now quickly. Yeah, touchdown is called there. And we thought what we saw up here was correct, that Francis made it into the end zone. And, in fact, he did. And that is another touchdown early for Edna Karr. They're on for the PAT. And you see Coach Brown just methodically making his way up and down the sideline. Very, very excited about how this one is going. The Trojans are going to have to come out and answer this offensively. Snap is back, kick is up, and it sneaks in, and it's good. We're going to take a timeout. We will be back win this one. Edna Karr leads us 14-0. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Ash Trojan Football on 446 Sports.
At Wallace Eye Associates, right now is the best time to have your cataracts removed. A new year means a new deductible. So if you're just not seeing as well as you used to, schedule your cataract evaluation today. It's fully covered by all medical insurances, including Medicare. You never need a referral at Wallace Eye Associates, and our method of next-generation cataract care is the most affordable in the state. There's only one team, one focus, your vision. Wallace Eye Associates.
Trojans set to receive for the third time today. You'll see all of our sponsors rotating in that top corner. We appreciate those that have joined on with us for this trip. Quibido's, of course, helping us get down here. The law office of Stephen Spurgeon, big time Alexandria Trojans supporter. Jerry Lee and company. They provided our game day wardrobe. And, of course, the folks over at Walker Mazda. So they've got us on in the showroom over there. So big shout out to the folks at Walker Mazda that are doing it big on a Saturday. Trios has us on. Quibido's has us on. Walk-Ons has it, and it's on all over Alexandria. And they're looking for their Trojans to get back into this. You do see it 14-0. We are a minute and 54 into this one, Nick.
Yeah, they've run one offensive play and have 2 touchdowns. We've run 5 offensive plays. But like I said, still early. Early. We have 4 yards of total offense so far.
You've got to answer the bell on this one. You cannot get too far behind this team because they just are like piranhas. They kick it away from JT, and D-Dub's going to see it go a yard into the end zone, and that's a touchback no matter what. But piranha, smell blood in the water is what you see out of this Edna Karr team, Nick.
Yeah, and just a reminder back home, we're only updating the score on our ticker. We're not running the clock or the first downs, you know. So just appreciate that info that was texted through to me. But that's we're doing right now. We've elected to have 2 people on the ground to get videos for us of this action.
In at quarterback now is that
it's still
Sellers.
Yeah,
JT off the left side. And JT with a couple of yards, if doesn't quite make it to the 22.
Yeah, and then once again now Edna Karr, I mean, they can just pin their ears back and just come after you.
You've got to have your best drive of your season right here. And, yes, I know it's just early on. There's JT up the middle, banging around. He gets his first big carry. That's 6 yards. Yeah. It'll make it 3rd down and 2. Trojans will go a little bit of a tempo here.
Yeah, and there's no reason not to. I mean, you still run your offense, Doug. I mean,
Absolutely,
we're still early, so no reason not to keep doing what you do.
Handoff goes to Lindsey again, and he's met in the backfield.
Oh.
They sling him down, and
I'm not expecting to get that call. If they didn't call the roughing the passer, they're not going to call that one. Big number 90, Richard Anderson. He's a junior. They interviewed him earlier this week and was talking about how he's from New Orleans, has never been in the Superdome, not even to watch a game or anything. So
Brett hadn't been in here either. So
really?
It was his first time in here.
Yeah, so 1 yard loss on that last play, so your Trojans out to punt.
Yeah, they're back to punt from the 26-yard line. Yep, and we know the clock. Got to snap it now and get that guy while he's on the field. Oh, they call a timeout. Boy, what a play. If the Trojans were able to snap that, they'd have stole the first down. They don't. We won't. We'll be back right after this.
This month, as we gather with the ones we love, let's take a moment to give thanks for the blessings in our lives. When it comes to protecting what matters most, trust those who care about your family as much as you do.
I'm Jason Hawk, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent. I'm here to help you protect what you hold dear.
Whether auto, home, or life, have peace of mind knowing that your family is covered today, tomorrow, and for years to come. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect what matters most.
Back high above the field here in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Edna Karr looking for just their second possession. They scored the first time they touched the ball. Unfortunately, it was when Ash was on offense. It was a 30-yard pick six, and then one play for a touchdown when they've had it. So one offensive play, 2 touchdowns, and they're about to get it for the third time here, leading this one 14-0. Good snap is back kick is away,
Great
and Eli
punt.
puts a tremendous foot into that one. And Francis bobbles it, but pulls it in at the 42-yard line. And, Nick, that's where Edna Karr and company will take over.
Yeah, very good punt there from Eli. He was not the starting punter, throughout the year, but forced into action late in the season. And
ran into Crenshaw last night at the hotel areas where they were getting in. He was still on crutches, so hated for that young man. I think he punted maybe in one game.
Yeah, senior as well.
Yep.
Crenshaw.
Two
Daniel
receivers.
Crenshaw.
Two receivers to the near side, 2 to the top. Johnson just a second up, and the Trojans have got to find a way to cause some chaos. They send Jackson Townsend out and drop into what is a 3 deep, I guess a cover 3 style of defense. So they've switched right beforehand. Johnson makes a couple of adjustments.
Yeah, playing a 3-3-5.
Yep, high snap there, and Johnson's just going to take off and run right up the middle. Slides down in front of Cortez Simon for a first down.
Yeah, they brought X, on the blitz there to run blitz, and he went right, and Johnson goes left. I mean, he went to our right. Johnson goes to our left, and for a first down. 5
defensive backs out there to combat those 4 speedy receivers, and one. You'll see X kind of spy on Johnson, but it's 1 play, 1 first down. Johnson calls for the ball. He's going to keep it, come to the near side, and just runs right by Townsend. And a good stop there by K5, but not before a second straight first down.
It's our first tackle of the game, Doug.
8:04 to go here in the first. Trojans trail this one 14-0. Again, NFHS is the only video coverage of this one. They've got that in the LHSAA network, but that's difficult to find. Snap is back to Johnson. No pressure. Good work on that offensive line, and there he goes scooting outside past Thibodeau before he's finally brought down at the 16-yard line.
Yeah, 17-yard gain there, brought down by Jayton Terry, and would get pressure on him, but
all kinds of time, Nick, to sit back in there in the pocket. And that young man is going to be as highly recruited of a quarterback, I think, that you'll find out of here.
Yeah, only a sophomore like Carson and Max and the Neville quarterback and Elijah from
the Evangel
Dunham,
quarterback.
And Evangel,
Pop Houston and Elijah Haven. Boy, that class is loaded. High snap, but corralled there. Going to be a quick toss out to the near side, completing a good move. And the Trojans will stop Edna Karr for the first time, not getting a first down or a touchdown. Jajon Smith got that one.
Yeah, good work there by your Trojans on that short gain. Brought down by Jaden and Jay Frazier.
Don't expect that Edna Karr is going to attempt any sort of field goals either. You've got to come out there, and they're going to come fire away. Good blocking down the line, and that is a first down to the 5-yard line, maybe the 4 to 11. Is that who had that?
Brian Sanchez, number 4 on that one, and Jay Lou on the tackle there.
3 to the top, spread out, 1 to the near side. Johnson at the 5-yard line calls for the football. He's going to keep it himself up the middle and into the end zone, turns around and looks back. And that is the 3rd touchdown of the afternoon, Nick, in 5.5 minutes for Edna Karr.
Yeah, Jackson Townsend there just couldn't bring him down. So he'll run off the right side. Quarterback keeper. Well, it was RPO, and he kept it. And really not much Trojans could do there on that one because there was such a wide opening.
Back on is that place kicker that we talked about earlier. That looks like Brent Castellan.
Yeah.
Is that the first penalty of the game? Looks like it's going to be a false start.
Be the only thing they've done wrong today so far. We came back last year, Doug, as well. Made it a game last year. So
indeed, this was exactly the same sort of a start that you saw last year. False start against Edna Karr. But, Nick, they've not done, short of that false start there, one thing wrong, and it started with that pick 6 to get things going.
This may make it out of his range.
That first one barely.
Yeah,
barely
I
cleared.
know
You're
that's
right.
No, it's not. I mean, I'm not trying to be.
No, you're
fun.
saying exactly what. But
Yeah.
again, it's it is. He may have just mishit that one. I don't know if you've watched much of
Yeah,
him.
no, I've watched.
Kick is up,
See, it's.
and he
it barely-
drills
yeah.
that one. It is up, and it is good. We'll be right back. You're watching Ash Trojan Championship Football right here on 446 Sports. Back here at the New Orleans Superdome, the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana, and it has been all Edna Karr in this one, 21-0 in the first 5.5. Nick, the good thing is there's a lot of football. Bad thing is they scored pretty quick, and we've done not a great job of even slowing them down. But there's plenty of time to get this adjusted and get rolling if you're the Trojans.
This is a character test. I mean, this is test of character right here. Who's going to step up and who's going to, battle and try to fight this.
Look like they've switched. That's D-Dub that's going to come up and get a short one at the 15-yard line. Now the 20 goes Darius, and he's caught up around the neck on that one and brought down. The Trojans will have their best starting field position, though, out to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, that's three that I would consider very close to penalties that have not been called. I mean, that one, of course, maybe he didn't grab him around the helmet. We are way up here.
Up at the 24-yard line is where it is, and I believe now we'll get our first look at Max Gassett. Gassett in at quarterback now. Hands the ball off to JT. JT off left side, 30 now, 40. 40 getting to the 50, brought down inside Edna Karr territory to the 40-yard line, and big time work. JT Lindsay and tempo coming now for the Trojans, and boy, they'll turn it around in a hurry.
Yeah, 37-yard run there by JT on first down. Great work there.
Gassett again. He's going to keep it himself, does Max. The young sophomore cuts back inside, dropped down at the 31-yard line.
Yeah,
Hadn't set the change yet.
Right, good run there by Max on that first down. Looks like he gains 9 without the chains being set.
Second down and a yard. Handoff up the middle. JT's banging around under there, and I don't know that they're gonna mark him at the line of scrimmage, so it'll be third down, but 2 downs to get it for the Trojans. Boy, that's JT. If you can see flashes of that a little bit more. How long was that one, Nick?
I have 37, but like I said, it was pretty quick.
Quick 6, they call him. We'll see. Spent his birthday down in New Orleans yesterday. Gets it this time off the left side, and he's going to be stopped for another loss. And the Trojans now, who had a couple of big plays in a row, are facing fourth down, and they'll bring Von Darbon in. First time that we've seen the senior running back Darbon tonight, this afternoon, if you will.
Yeah, 4th and 3.
From a big play that had it 2nd and 1.
They still have 3 on the thing, but I guess.
Yeah, but it's 4th on the scoreboard,
Yeah, I thought
and
so as
4th
well.
everywhere that we look.
Right.
Gassett looking over now and look for perhaps a quick shot over to Jimmy, maybe. Let him get something going because receiver takes a lot of cushion.
Yeah, I think they're fixing the.
They're just going to fix the down marker is all that they're going to do. It's got fourth down. It is fourth down, everything, but a little bit of spark provided. On the big screen up here, you see Coach Thomas Bachman walking out onto the field. Again, a reminder, we are audio only due to LHSAA restrictions. You can find it at the NFHS Network or LHSAA Network, NFHS.com actually, for the video of the game. We are limited to our booth cam alone. It's brought to you by Quibitos and Walker Mazda, the law office of Stephen Spurgeon, and our friends over at Jerry Lee and Company.
You would think the Superdome would have a digital yard marker there, but it's
Saints have it locked up.
I guess so.
Big game tomorrow. That's why the field and all the bannering is out still. Biggest play of the night for the Trojans as they face a 4th down inside of Edna Karr territory.
JT's back in, Doug.
Gassett looks over, and there's pressure, it looks like, coming from that far side. Boy, that's one thing about it. You can see the plays develop up here.
Yes, you can.
Gassett calls for it. Quick hitter to Jimmy. We called that one. Jimmy makes a man miss. He's going to have the first down. Well, you had 10 yards cushion. You got to go out there and hit Jimmy Duncan.
Yep.
And look, young man from Carr didn't help him up at all, didn't even look at him, but Jimmy catches that. Good job of knowing where the sticks are.
Yeah, 5-yard pitch and catch there from Gassett to Duncan for the first down.
Again, giving Jimmy a lot of room to the near side, but JT's going to have it up the middle. Tough sledding all day for Jimmy, and that
there we go
for JT. And that scrum goes forward. Boy, you got to be careful about folks getting hurt at that point.
You really do. You really do. It looks like a 1-yard gain there, but he was stopped in the backfield, so good work there by your Trojans.
Little play action, maybe a pump and go and send Tanner down the seam. That's been effective for the Trojans throughout. He's down in the H-back, though, is Townsend. Jimmy to the near side along with Darius. Just a straight drop back, and they're going man coverage to Fontenot. Not going to be complete and out of bounds. Trojan faithful thought he had it, but didn't.
Yeah.
We are at 3:37 to go in this first quarter. 21-0.
Kirkland Bates coming in for Townsend. Yeah, just a 9 route, just a go route there, and not a bad thrown ball. It's well covered by Maurice Williams, junior DB from Carr.
Gassett calls for the ball on 3rd down. He's rolling to the near side, going to look back. Now he's got a lot of room to run. Does Gassett. Makes a man miss out to the 20-yard line, but it's going to bring up another 4th down. And that may be not a bad play. Get your 4 receivers out in coverage. If nothing's open, go get it.
Yeah, definitely a good 8-yard gain there to make it 4th and very short.
And you know that they're keying on JT, so maybe get the young sophomore quarterback out in space. Got a lot of room to the far side of the field, Nick.
Yes.
He could basically sprint for a couple of yards there if you just get a key block from Jimmy and Alex.
That might be why they put JT on that side, Doug, see if they can't get something quick.
Let him block over there. Or even you run him out of the backfield, you got something. Instead, there it is. Inside slant, he's knocked down. It's going to be a turnover on downs again. And Edna Karr will take over 1st down and 10 from the 20-yard line. Boy, and that's just
good coverage there, but I guarantee Jimmy would want that one back. He was beating his hands on the ground. Good throw and just didn't quite make the play.
Best offensive drive for the Trojans. Now their defense has got to put the same thing together and get a stop right here. Edna Karr starting from the 20-yard line this time. Johnson, the sophomore quarterback for the Cougars, calls for it here. Handoff right off the left side. Going to be stopped for a 2-yard gain. Xavier's there, and looks like Gaines.
Yes, good work there by those two, especially X coming in, laying the lumber. So good work.
Carrick Gaines has been a battler all season long.
Yes,
Nick.
he has.
Again, 2:23 to go in this one. Carr taking a little more time than normal. They move back and go to that shift, back to that 3-3-5 play action over the middle. That one is complete and going to be for a 1st down. Spun around, picking up yardage out to the 34.
Yeah, Griffin there on the tackle, but the critical thing, Doug, is that plays like that we have the tackle.
Right.
They'll take that 70, 65 yards if you don't get them down.
2 minutes to go here and rolling in the first period. Trojans have got to get a stop and get something going. They had the ball first in this one, have been able to do nothing with it. Handoff comes to the near side. Good running room and a good miss. Off and going. Jay tracks him down, though. Jay initially was the one that was faked out on the run and all the way down to the 40. And here goes Edna Karr again with their own version of tempo.
Yeah, Bryant Sanchez there on that big run for for the Karr Cougars.
Minute 38 remaining here in the first. Snap is back, and a snap throw over to the near side. Only a couple. These receivers, though, Nick, not only they're big and fast, they block so well down the field.
Yeah, big-bodied guys, and Jay Frazier and Grayson Thibodeau, first time we called Thibodeau's name this game on the tackle there.
Does play both sides of the football for the Trojans. We saw him in earlier at H-back when they moved Townsend up to tight end. 2nd down and 9 from the 38-yard line. Johnson back to pass, but he will run instead. He's going right down the same, and it's intercepted. That is Jayton Terry's got it to the 30. Now 35 goes Terry, 40, 50, and out of bounds.
Told him to hold the ball, and he gets punched out right at the end. But great work. Overthrown by John Johnson, which I've seen that all season.
Yep.
It's just unfortunate that it's taken this long for us to take advantage of it, but that's a big momentum.
Well, that was a big job of catching that one because that was bobbled by Terry before he was able to pull it in.
And also great work by Jayton because that wasn't his man. He was reading the backfield and saw the pass and made the play on it. So good work by that young sophomore DB.
They mark him out of bounds at the 47-yard line, but you're right. If he was in the middle of the field, that would have been ugly because it was punched out right at the back. Trojans go with 2 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the top. Sellers back in at quarterback, and JT just is having a tough go of it.
Yeah, another 1-yard loss there. And it's just, I mean, they're just getting beat. 20, which we talked about, Doug and I, we talked off the air, but 20, which is Corey Adams.
Right.
Remember him from last year?
Yep.
I mean, he's clogging up the middle with number 90, Richard Anderson, and we're gonna have to get movement on those guys.
Motion comes to the near side, back to pass itself, setting up that screen, and Edna Karr read that perfectly. They saw that this is such a well-coached and well-disciplined team from Karr.
Such an athletic team as well.
Yeah.
That is.
You're not going to I don't think, be able to do anything with goodness. They saw when those defensive linemen came in, that safety came right up on Jimmy. That's going to end things for the first quarter. 21-0, Edna Karr leads this, and we'll be back in 60 seconds. You're watching Ash Trojan football on 446 Sports.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
Are home problems turning your life upside down? Trust Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing to save the day. From keeping you comfortable to plumbing repairs and even generators, we do it all. Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, your one-stop solution for AC, plumbing, and generators. If you need us to save the day for you, call Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing or visit us online at southernairnow.com.
Start of the second quarter here from New Orleans, the 2024 LHSAA Prep Classic. Edna Karr has started fast in this one. They're out to a 21-0 lead. The Trojans have slowed it down just a little bit off that interception, but they've got to find a way to convert here. 3 receivers now to the far side, 4 Sellers. That's Fontenot, Duncan, and D-Dub that are out there. Lindsey, who's had the big 30-yard run, but not able to do anything with it. And the Trojans are actually back from where they had the interception return.
Yeah, I don't know what there was a spot off.
Not sure, but anyway, the Trojans do have to get to the 37-yard line of Edna Karr to get the first down, but don't expect them punting, or may possibly do that. Anyway, let's go get it on 3rd down and quit looking ahead.
Make it manageable at least.
Yep.
Let's see if we can't get.
You don't have to get it all.
That's
right here. but
right.
you have to get it.
We have to get more. I mean, Doug, they're stopping our run with 4 defensive linemen.
Right.
I mean, yeah, the linebackers are involved.
Yeah, and that neutralizes your passing game completely.
Right.
3rd down and 16 for the Trojans. 3rd down and 15, they call it from their own 48-yard line. Sellers has JT in the backfield, 3 receivers to the far side. Snap is back, play action, nobody buying that one, and Sellers just gets ran over. Yeah, that's a slow developing play when you've got a couple of DBs that are just blitzing on you.
Yeah, Darius, covered up, so he couldn't throw there, and Fondo and Jimmy are covered up going down, so definitely going to have to punt now, Doug.
Yeah, no doubt that Eli and company will come out. Just not the start that you wanted for the Trojans. Where you had to run to JT and then the pick 6. And it just has been downhill since then. Need Fung to really flip the field here. This is following the interception from Terry. Gets a foot into this one, and that's another good one. Francis camping out under it, calls for the fair catch, and is where Edna Karr will take over. 1st down and 10 from the 28-yard line. Have not had a teed-up golf drive recap for the Trojans yet. Need to get us a couple of those.
They really thought we had a little momentum there, but the Karr defense just shut it down.
Again, that defense last time seemed to confuse Johnson a little bit. He overthrows it. There on the screen you see, or they do here in the stadium, Bryce Brown, the coach for Edna Karr. Snap is back to Johnson, and the handoffs to the far side. Got to come up and tackle, and the Trojans do. Pickup of 2, though, out to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, good work there by Cortez to turn him inside, and then the cavalry came after to get him, which was Hobbs and Mason and White. So good job there by Cortez.
Like I saw Bayon in on that tackle. Oh, this is to the near side. Going to finally be brought down, but out near midfield once again.
Yeah, Jaden Lewis with the tackle there, and just a quick hitter there for Karr, and 1st down play. And
yeah, so I have been corrected, and I think I've called it about everything, but it is the Caesars Superdome.
Right.
The Mercedes-Benz folks might get me for that, but the Caesars Superdome, that is correct. I think I've called it 6 different things today. I'm going to stick with Superdome.
Well, you are correct about Bayon being in there.
Handoff goes up the middle, and the Trojans unable to tackle out to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, Xavier ends up taking him down after a 7-yard gain there. Was told that I keep calling him X, and somebody didn't quite know what his first name was, so Xavier White there.
Those that are just joining on with us now, you do see that. Xavier White. We'll try to refrain from any of the nicknames on there because it does make it tough. Back to pass. Johnson to play action. Good coverage. And just so elusive. Now he's got down the field, couple of receivers, and it's picked off again.
Jaden got it, yes.
Jaden Lewis, J-Lou, I will go nickname, jumps in the middle of that, and he has been on fire in the last half of the season. Big time work by senior Jaden Lewis.
Yeah, good work there, and good pressure there by Thibodeau and Hobbs and Mason. They kept going after it and just kept going after it, and you know, of course, when you have a 21-point lead, Doug, you can just throw the ball up in the air, huh?
Absolutely, you can. But now you've got to be so careful of this pressure that is going to come at you. Trojans will start from the 3-yard line. And just waiting for that moment. 9:43 remaining here until halftime. Edna Karr does get the ball at halftime. So Trojans got to find a way to get down the field. Boy, J-Lou right in front of K5 gets that one.
Yeah, I know they were. Well, are they? I was excited. If they are reviewing it, I'm just going to tell them that's an interception. They don't need to keep. They
just need to look up here in the booth and tell us, and it's thumbs up or thumbs down.
Yeah.
Now they're not. No review on this one.
Yeah.
That is a good interception by Jaden Lewis. Was talking to his mom on Thursday. She cuts my hair, and so she was just so excited about it, and it was all the talk was on the game. And I said, well, focus on don't jab me. And so, no, great work there. Wonderful family. Jaden, just as good a kid. We were able to see him Thursday night at the show.
Max is in, Doug.
A little bit more of a runner is Gassett, so don't be surprised if you see some sort of a designed quarterback run here.
They brought Letzinger in as well with Townsend.
Toss back into the end zone, and and that's a safety that's going to be there. You toss the ball back, and as much penetration as Edna Karr has been able to get in this one, you have JT just run out of the end zone or have to come out of the end zone, and that was tough, Nick.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, let's see here on their screen. Yeah, I mean it was number 20, on the nose. I mean number 90 on the nose, who just got across our center, and not much JD can do on that one.
No, and when they're in the backfield with him, that's difficult. Following the safety, the Trojans will get the free kick from the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and I would imagine here they'll probably elect to have Fung actually kick off the stand and not punt. A lot of times with safeties, you punt because you can usually hit it a little bit further. But my guess is they're going to be going.
Going to tee it up.
Tee it up here with his leg.
Caesar Superdome is quiet in this one on that far side away from us, where the Trojan faithful have come out en masse. It's the first time that we've seen them up in the corners over there. So there's a lot of folks from Central Louisiana and all over the state have made their way up here. They're going to have to see their Trojans put a miraculous one together here. 9:30 remaining until halftime. And Nick, you were right on. They will tee it up from the 20-yard line.
Yeah,
Funk's got a good leg, but just explosive return men.
Yeah, no, this is going to be very dangerous. We need to stay in our lanes and make sure we get them on the ground.
Fung puts a foot into this one, and
Good
it
kick.
sends the return man, Dejon Smith, back inside the 20 to the 18. Got to get him down, and that's about, well, not down on the ground yet, but that's about the best you could hope for on a free kick out of there.
Yes, good work there by Vaughn on that tackle, breaking down and getting him to the ground, and that was a great kick by Fung. Good work there. That could have gone a lot worse.
Again, both of these teams undefeated, going for that Division I Select State Championship game. Just amazingly quiet in here in a game, in the first real game that's been.
We just heard somebody watch the holding, and I kind of agree with them. and we're way up here. That's how quiet it got.
Wow, just deathly quiet. 3 receivers to the near side. Now the Karr folks start to make a little noise. Hand off to the right side where we are. And going to be brought down. Thibodeau, Thibodeau, the first man there, and he's going to be finished up by Xavier White. Xavier, the junior linebacker.
Thibodeau's a junior as well.
Got a good group. Hobbs, he's a junior. A number of them out there. But a lot of work to go in this one with 9:20 to go until halftime. 9:21 officially. Snap is back. Johnson has it. Johnson snap throw over to the far side. Throws it high, and that allows Cortez to go up and make the tackle right away.
Yeah, good work by Cortez there on the coverage. Just thrown a little bit too tall for him, and 3-yard or 4-yard pitch and catch there for Karr.
Turnovers even at 1 apiece. Karr capitalized off of theirs. Trojans have got to get off the field here defensively. 3rd down and 4. Johnson comes up to the line and changes things. Snap is back. Now Johnson, quick throw over to the near side, and there's Cortez on the other side coming up and making things happen. Cortez Simon.
Yes, great work there by Cortez on man-child there. Tyron Francis, and I would say so far, Deshaun Smith. I know Francis had that first touchdown, but Deshaun Smith, that young man is they have him listed as a running back, but he's been playing out wide.
Well, you never take your eyes off of this special teams unit for Karr at 4th down and 6. D-Dub back to the 32. That punt is away. Rolling, and Darius is going to let it go, and it just takes a huge Edna Karr roll down to the 15-yard line is where the Trojans will have it. So, yes, you had the safety, but it was the interception on the 3-yard line that set it up. It would have been a near touchdown again. You punt it away, your defense holds, then you come back, and now you have a shot to get things going once again, Nick.
I will say, I mean, with the exception of the first 2 drives, the defense has held up well. We really need a spark by this offense, especially going into, well, it's 8 minutes left in the second quarter. So
time to get down there, get a touchdown. You just have to get into the flow of things. I don't know that the Trojan offense is really, and this is due in part by the work that Edna Karr is doing.
Sure.
They have not been able to get the flow going.
Sure. I know. This team is prepared.
Yeah,
this team is prepared. They have played the hardest schedule in the
They're battle tested. That's
yes.
correct.
So
Sellers has JT in the backfield with him. Handoff going to go to. There's a hold that's going to bring that back. Is that JT or is that Vaughn?
It was JT.
No, it's Vaughn.
No, you're right. I'm
Vaughn
sorry.
with
Excuse me. Yes.
Yeah, Vaughn just a little bit shorter than JT, and JT runs a little more upright, a la who do you say?
Yeah, Eric Dickerson.
That's right.
Yeah. Sorry there. I was looking at the let's see here.
The way Sellers is pointing,
yeah,
that's an awful lot of discussion for just a hold.
Right. And it was thrown by the umpire. So
they're still working and explaining things to Coach Bachman. Illegal block below the waist against the Trojans.
I think that's only the case if they're engaged, though, Doug. Let me see if we can.
It showed that they're calling it on Jacoby, it looks like.
Guess so.
So that'll put the Trojans back inside their own 10-yard line to the 8. And they have to get out to the 26-yard line. So it's first down and 18.
That's your first penalty. That's the first penalty for the Trojans. Only 2 penalties in the game so far. One against Karr, one against.
It was a false start on the extra point.
That's right.
I think was all that we saw.
Yep.
Carson under the gun again behind the sticks, back to pass. Here comes pressure again. He's got to spin out of that, and that's going to be the second safety.
I think he may have gotten the ball to the line. Doug.
I don't think it. I just don't know how he did.
He's got a very animated group to our right here. That.
See what they come out of there, and they do. That is the second safety of the game, and a lot of times you go. I think we went the whole season without seeing one.
And I think Fondo had broke open, but I mean it was a long route. Took a long time to develop. But
and you're not going to be able to get anything. So this was
let's see. They're definitely.
No, he's a yard deep in it.
Well, but let's. I know he reached the ball and then he lost it.
This defense is not going to give you 3 or 4 seconds in a play. It's got to have to quick hitters and go. 7:25 to go in this one, and another free kick for the Trojans. And again, Nick, I don't know that we've seen. Here's another look at it, Nick, if you want to see it on the big board.
See, he reached. No, he lost the ball. Okay, his hand went out, but he didn't have the ball. Okay, I'm sorry.
Nearly would have resulted in a touchdown.
Yeah. Yeah, I did see his hand reach, but he just didn't have the ball with him. I'm sorry about that, folks. But,
back-to-back offensive possessions that end in safeties, all right behind that J-Lou interception down at the 3-yard line. And if you've ever needed an opportunity to flip a field, baby, it's right now.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Not much going our way, but
as inauspicious as a start as you will find for the Trojans, and this start has lasted a quarter and nearly a half as Fung is set to put this one in play again from the 20-yard line. Puts a foot into this one. It is high, and Francis now has it. They bang into each other, so it's not Francis, but at the 20-yard line. Coming near side, and there's a tackle that is going to be called. So no matter what, he can go to the house if he wants to. That one's coming all the way back. Little premature excitement there on that play from the Karr fans as that one's going to come all the way back. And I think it was Jackson that was tackled or one of them, but it will come all the way back, and Edna Karr will start deep in their own territory.
Yeah, definitely needed that for sure. Kind of with both of their returners running into each other and then they split, it kind of made a little deception. Yeah, and it was Colby Pope, 45. So you're right, Doug. He was tackled.
Oh, I mean, yeah, he gets him, and it was one of the better tackles of the game. And so they'll move it back from what was the 33-yard line where the flag came in.
Mm-hmm.
Look, had someone text me and point out to me, a good friend of mine from, and he says, look, it's not Mercedes-Benz Superdome, it's the Caesar Superdome. I guess I could read that big Caesar Superdome sign just to my left, couldn't I? The one that's clearly right there.
You know what, Doug? They ain't paying our bills.
That's exactly right. It's just somewhat of a decent dome. I wouldn't even call it a Superdome. 1st and 10, Edna Karr. Back to pass is Johnson. Now he's going to tuck this one and run. He's being chased.
That's a block on the back, and they did not call right there.
Nope, Xavier is down on the ground from where he was hit. And
15-yard gain there by Johnson, pushed out by Griffin. But
this game not affected by the officiating at all.
No.
But I would like to see them on top of things as a Superdome crew to just make sure they're getting calls like that. But again, that has nothing to do with the way that this game is going. 1st down and 10 from the 40-yard line. Johnson and company. Handoff comes to the near side. X is there to make initial contact, finished off by Hobbs.
Yeah, that's number 26, who's Trey Garrison for them on that 5-yard gain. But once again, we didn't make contact with him until 4 yards down the field.
Yeah, actually they'll give him 5 too. He fell forward. So for 2nd down and 5 from the 45-yard line, and you have got to do everything you can to keep Edna Karr from adding any more points here. Trojans now 4 scores down. .627 and counting. Look at the clock that is below the 2009 World Champion banner. Johnson up the middle, slides down in front of Gaines.
7-yard gain there for a 1st down for Johnson, and the options are a mini.
Yeah.
Out there.
And I don't know, I just don't know. The Trojans have faced adversity throughout and have faced this type of a battle, but goodness gracious. Snap is back. Play action. Johnson faced pressure for the first time, and he gets it off. It is complete and a good move there, and going to make his way down to the 10 and 5. Stretches out the football, but unable to get there, and the ball will be down at the 2-yard line.
Yeah, Griffin and Xavier White end up bringing him down right before the pylon, but just a nice.
That was Oliver Mitchell that had that one.
Yeah, number
Mitchell.
5. Yeah,
and now again, you talk about weapons. You can go in here and do whatever you want to do if you're in the car.
Yeah.
Just Trojans are shell shocked. Got to hold him out of the end zone here. Johnson just going to keep it himself, and he does cut through, gets into the end zone, and that is a touchdown for Edna Karr, and we'll adjust it. It goes up to 30. We didn't have our scoreboard that showed the safety that was on there, so we'll add that one, and we'll add back the safety. It is 31-0. Your Trojans are really on the bad side of this one, and we've talked about there hadn't been a game that was a blowout, and we're on the heels of that one here, my friend.
Yeah, unfortunately so far.
Extra point is up, and looked like they were going in there to call something.
I know, they were, and whistles were being blown very quickly.
Anyway, we'll step away. We'll be right back. You're watching Ash Trojan Football on 446 Sports.
Our mobile banking app is
Back to work. We go here in the Caesars Superdome. Again, audio only on our broadcast of this one, and what you're missing is seeing Edna Karr up 32-0 in this one. 5 minutes 38 seconds to go until halftime. Edna Karr does get the ball back the second half, so the Trojans still remain just 4 scores down after that. Goodness, it's 4 touchdowns and 4 2-point conversions away. But it's just, you don't have to get, there's not a 32-point play that you have to go out and get. You just have to go out there and get one and then try to get yourself a little bit of momentum. Best offensive set got them down to about the 30-yard line and then didn't convert on the 4th down play. A couple of times they've been held out there. Kickoff is up and it is off to the far side. Brought in there at the goal line. Might would have turned around. D-Dub trying to reverse his field. Washington gets to the outside 25-30 and going to be driven out of bounds there. Again, thanks to all of our year-long sponsors. They make it work for us. Folks have jumped on in the playoffs with us, and that was Tee It Up Golf. Has been their tire discount center. They are on Coliseum Boulevard towards the end of it. Mid-State Orthopedic and Sports Medicine on board with us, and we appreciate those guys. Jerry Lee and Company, Walker Mazda, folks at Walker helping us get down to the Superdome, Quibidos, and of course the law office of Steve Spurgeon. Saw a pretty good punt return, partner, while you were gone. 31 yards, 30 yards it goes on the punt return by Washington. And the Trojans now send JT in motion, back to pass. That one is thrown just errant. A little bit on that one from Gassett. Gassett in at quarterback now, and it's not a replacement. Those two rotate all through the year.
Yeah, just a little behind Fondo there. Did have some space, actually had a little bit of time as well. So,
and that's what you're going to have to do to get back into this one. You absolutely cannot sit back and let something develop down the field. Gassett's got JT. He's got 2 to this side now. He's got 2 to the far side with Townsend in motion. Snap throw over there. Townsend with a good block out to the 35-yard line before Darius is nearly slung down.
Good work there by Darius and Gassett for, like you told me, Townsend on the block. 5 yards. Darius' first catch of the game.
Darius just a spark plug for this Trojan team. Returns kicks for them and has just done a little bit about anything. Not tall in stature, but the heart of that young man. He plays like he's about 6'10". Gassett faces 3rd down. He brings JT out in motion. Gassett could tuck this one. Instead, zips that one inside to Fontenot, and that's a pretty good pass. Complete to Alex Fontenot and a 1st down to the 45-yard line, and here go the Trojans.
23-yard from Gassett to Fontenot there on that slant route. Good work there.
Gassett looking really good today in the time that he's been in there. He's got JT flanked to the left. Also over there is Tanner in the H-back spot. He'll move over, and JT will follow. Oh, no, Gassett's got it again. Fooled everybody, including me, out to the 20-yard line. Oh, baby, what a play.
The 25-yard run there by Gassett. And good work there by them. And Doug, I'm wondering if Karr, I'll tell you after this.
Gassett now looked like guys were going early. JT gets it. Cuts to the outside, goes JT inside to the 10. And that is our first trip inside the Tire Discount Center red zone.
Yeah, 11-yard run there off the right side behind Reed and Price and Pearl. Doug, I'm wondering if they're not giving Gassett a little more time because they're more concerned about the run, you know, if they were to blitz him like they were blitzing Sellers.
Right, and that adds that different aspect to it. Timeout on the
Karr called.
On the floor here. Tire Discount Center red zone is where we're at. We'll take it 30 seconds and we'll be right back.
Everybody dancing all night long. Everybody dancing.
Trojans in the Tire Discount Center red zone for the first time tonight, Nick. They've got it first down and goal from the 9-yard line, and best opportunity here for the Trojans to get off the schneid, if you will.
Yeah, and then we have Gassett in, so you have, the run pass option available to you.
Another option for the Trojans. Gassett calls for the ball. Max has been solid the time he's been in there. Gives that to JT. JT up the middle from the 5 to the 3 is where he goes.
6-yard gain there right up the middle behind Pearl, Morris, and Reed. Good work there by your Trojan offensive line. And Thibodeau's in there.
Gassett calls for it.
Mm-hmm.
Right up the middle it goes, and that's a big loss. They'll give him forward progress to the 5. Mm-hmm. So 3rd down and goal coming up for the Trojans. Well, just not a lot of room down there for anything. And big man that we've saw.
Richard Anderson is.
And he's going.
He's
that's
a junior.
their LSU guy, isn't it?
No, he's a junior.
Oh wow.
No, their LSU guy never took a snap for Edna Karr.
That's right. He just transferred, reclassed.
Yeah, I don't think we need to mention his name.
Nope.
So, but no, who needs him? Edna Karr doesn't need him.
Jeez. Gassett looks over at the sideline, has to turn around and look backwards. Well, look at all, 6, 7 coaches there so intently watching this play. That is how important this 5 yards is. Gassett's going to get to the far side. Gassett to the end zone. Touchdown, Max Gassett. Touchdown, Trojans.
5-yard run there for Max on the keeper. All the motions going to the left, and he keeps it right.
Trojans on the board for the first time, and do you go out and go for 2 already?
I think coach is probably thinking they might call a timeout. Let's see. I know he's out on the field.
Yeah,
they're going for 2.
Offense stays out there, and at this point, and you're doing that because with touchdowns and extra points, you're actually 4 touchdowns behind and not 5 scores behind. 26 points is the deficit here. Trojans trying to get it to 24. Fontenot comes in motion in front of Gassett. He'll roll that way, trying to get to the outside. Dumps it over. It's complete. Alex Fontenot, 2-point conversion from Max Gassett. 32-8. Trojans crawling back in. We'll see what they can do defensively when we come back. Back to the press box here, and first trip into the Tire Discount red zone is a good one. Trojans trail this one now 32-8, but you take a little bit of momentum there with you on that, and the question is, do you onside kick it this early to try to get back in? Fung slowly gets up to it, rolls it around, and Edna Karr is going to have it out at the 46-yard line after falling on that one. Yeah, and that was, Nick, that's the one they like to roll out there.
Yeah, looks like Dwayne Wilson, number 8 from Edna Karr, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, we'll see it on the board here, yeah.
And that's the difference of teams that we've seen this year have set back. They attacked it and went after the ball.
Yeah, no, he was ready. I mean, that's as expected. Now we just need your defense here to stop.
Edna Karr with it midfield, basically at the 48-yard line of the Cougars. 3:25 remaining here. Handoff up the middle, and the Trojans make a big stop right there. And a little bit of momentum is all you need. A chip and a chair, my friend. You just have to crawl back into this one before you can run. There's not a 32-point play in the book. You just got to chip away and get it. Trojans trail this one just before the break. 3:02 to go. Johnson back to pass. He's getting pressured. Spins out of that one and goes up the middle. Going to be picked off once again. Trojans have this one, and that is Jay Frazier. How about number 21 for the Trojans? Jay Frazier going up and getting that one. Big time work. You know what? It might have turned when our man Jordan Taylor comes here from under the lights. That may be, that's the third one for him.
You're staying right there.
Yeah,
you're not leaving.
Can't leave now. That's our man, just a couple hours removed from the favorite street in this city. Now, great time in here. We spent a lot of time with him yesterday. They do 28 games this year.
Yeah, great job they do. We get to go back and watch theirs and watch the highlights as well, and they've been updating highlights. So I've been staying in touch with them, or staying in contact through this from them this week.
Again, 2 minutes, 50 seconds to go until halftime. Sellers back in at quarterback. He's got it. JT now off the far side. And again, that element, Nick, of the run that Gassett is able to do.
Yeah, it's a totally different from me up here.
Correct.
It looks like the defense is totally different when Sellers is in there. They're playing more downhill. They're going after the passer.
And we've seen those Sellers take off and run. He can do that. I don't think he does it as well. JT in motion will bring 3 receivers here. Sellers snap throw incomplete on the far side, pass intended for Darius, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, 21 there. Hayward Howard, blanketed, D-dub on that one. I mean, he wasn't worried about anything going over the top. And,
so Jayton Terry has an interception. Jaden Lewis has an interception, and then that one just recently by Jay Frazier. 3 interceptions in here, but the Trojans not really able to capitalize on it. Boy, those couple of safeties, and it's just been played on your end of the field the whole time.
Yeah, you win in the turnover battle 3-1, Doug.
Sellers got to snap, got to roll out of that one. Cuts up, and you're right. They just pin their ears back and come after.
But look, Doug, 2 there. I mean, they have 6 in coverage, 2, 4. They have 7 in coverage.
7 guys.
I mean, nobody's open.
Yeah,
it's just a total different defense when he's in there. They're dropping people back in coverage, and they're rushing with the 5 or 6 and getting home. But he does. He has to take that one and throw it in the stands.
Yeah.
He has to find one of his receivers, throw it over his head, because he was still in the pocket. Throw it over his head, past the line of scrimmage, and just get rid of the ball there.
And now Fung will come in. No, they haven't moved it here yet, but I don't.
He's letting the clock run as much as possible.
And they'll call a timeout, we believe, and they do. We'll take it with them when we'll be back in 30 seconds. You're watching Ash Trojan football on 446 Sports.
Yeah, so what happened out there tonight?
We struck out at home with leftovers, then we remembered walk-ons.
What effect did the situation have?
Spirit soared. Nick took on a burger. Jen obliterated her ribeye po' boy. And speaking of spirits, Laura even scored a real tasty cocktail. She needed that.
Any lessons learned today?
Yeah. Head straight to walk-ons.
Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers, and cocktails. Walk-ons for the win.
Back to action we go, and the Trojans do come out in punt formation. They just let the clock run out in that one. Boy, you got to be real careful. Got the timeout right before the play clock expired.
Tyron Francis back to.
Fung's got it. Puts a foot in this one. He kicks it away from Francis.
I'll take that.
Absolutely will. Ball won't quite make it. Yeah, it's just going to check up at the 50 is where they'll have it. And so, again, good work by Eli Fung in this one.
Yeah. How weird is it that their punter punts it and it's, end over end forward and it rolls another 30 yards.
Right.
Our punter does the same thing and it checks up. Just sometimes you just don't get the bounces.
This is such a pivotal minute and 14 to go in this one. You cannot give another touchdown to Edna Karr here before the break.
Yeah, because they get the ball.
3-1 in turnover margin, but the one big one for Edna Karr set the tone in this one on the second play of the game. Johnson back deep in the shotgun, 8 yards, and he's going to drop a little further. Coming up is Xavier, up the middle, backside pressure, but Johnson, slippery, gets out of there. Somebody's got to come up and get him. Here comes Xavier working his way all the way, and Johnson just will not go down. My goodness.
Yeah, Tanner Townsend and Grayson Thibodeau end up with the tackles there, but What's crazy, Doug, is he got away from X because he saw X, but we had somebody coming on the backside, and he never saw him and still slipped him.
Was able to elude him. 1st down and 10 from the 33. Johnson surveying things now, going deep over the middle to Francis.
Yes,
and
another one.
Intercepted for the 4th time tonight. That one is picked off, and that is Jay Frazier with his 2nd INT on consecutive possessions. That's two timeouts remaining in this one, Nick, and the Trojans will have it from the 20. And 4 INTs on there. You got to do something offensively.
Yep. Let's see here.
Catches it, gets the foot down. Yeah. Jay Frazier doing big work. Looking at it on the screen again to make sure. Oh, he's way in. So no need to look at it anymore. Nick, you talked about Johnson and his overthrows.
Yeah.
But Trojans haven't been able to do anything with it at all.
Now, the difference is, they took one back to the house, and we haven't.
Gassett in at quarterback now.
Like you said, Doug, we do have 2 timeouts.
One of them used by Edna Karr, not one of ours, one of theirs. And we'll take it with them. Be right back. You're watching As Trojan Football on 446 Sports.
This month, as we gather with the ones we love, let's take a moment to give thanks for the blessings in our lives. When it comes to protecting what matters most, trust those who care about your family as much as you do.
I'm Jason Hawk, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent. I'm here to help you protect what you hold dear.
Whether auto, home, or life, have peace of mind knowing that your family is covered today, tomorrow, and for years to come. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect what matters most.
Back to the field we go. Trojans off of 4 turnovers. If you told me, Nick, that the turnover margin would be 4-1, I'd tell you the score would be this.
Yes.
I'd tell you it'd be the other way around.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Max Gassett and company have it from the 20-yard line. JT in the backfield. And Quick Six can score any place he's out on the field. Gassett adds another element to it with the run. They drop back in coverage. Look at them now. They'll look back over, and of course, Edna Karr will switch up their defense a little bit too. They do back out into coverage. Gassett with a good little fake. They had to pull it, so they got one of their guys that has to stay on Gassett.
Yeah. 4-yard there for JT off the right side. Good patience there by the young man. Get positive yards.
Trojans go quick, but I don't know that they're going to go too quick where it puts himself in a bind.
Yeah, I think that one, if you get 20-25 there, then you're really going fast. But
Gassett calls for it. He's back to pass. His arm was hit, and that's got to get – yeah, goodness. It could have been disastrous. He was looking for Fontenot. It looks – no, that was D-Dub on that far side.
Yeah, good pressure there by their defensive end.
Coming up at halftime, we will talk to a couple of guys from around the way. We're going to talk to Jordan Taylor with Under the Lights. We'll talk to the Ruston crew as they're getting ready for that game, and we'll do all of that. Coming up here at halftime, Gassett, handoff up the middle. There goes JT, banging around the official.
Oh, my gosh.
Spins in, down to the 40-yard line, and now the clock will stop momentarily, and JT would have been off and running on that one. Trojans will take a timeout, and boy, what could have been right there if he doesn't run up up the back of the official. Let's look at it again up at the top.
Wow, nice assisted tackle there.
Goodness gracious, JT is
and he had a man in front of him.
Yes, he did. Had big, goodness gracious.
Might have been what Bryce Brown was talking about.
About the official.
In between plays.
Yeah, get in the way. Yeah, he was behind Aiden Price. And we told you, and everybody that's watched this knows the explosiveness of a JT Lindsay. And he would have been off and going. Again, just 9 seconds remain until halftime. Not sure what the Trojans are going to be able to do with this one, as Edna Karr gets back deep into prevent, And we won't be able to throw it over the top of them here.
No.
You just got to bust something and let something magical happen. 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. Gassett calls for the ball. He's got to step up, and they throw that little screen inside. But, yeah, you're not going to get anything done out of that. 2 and 1. The clock will stop with 2 seconds, but we'll start back right away.
4-yard on the
Trojans,
jailbreak screen.
Yeah, Trojans take a timeout here. We'll keep it right here. Got halftime coming up. We'll take a few breaks from there. Just resetting the game clock to 3 seconds now. Don't know that that's going to make a big difference on there, but needless to say, we'll do it and keep things straight. Both bands will perform at halftime, and so we'll leave it on and let you watch a little bit of that, or let you listen to a little bit of that. And again, we'll have our friends over from Ruston, and we'll talk about that one as well. Coming up, they've got a big one with Central. Look, I'm telling you guys, hang around in this one. This one is not over yet. The Trojans make as good of adjustments, Nick, I think, as anybody do at halftime.
Well, yeah. I mean, Doug, just on defense in the first half, just the adjustments they've been able to make.
And it's not been the case of Edna Karr slowing down either.
No.
It's been the Trojans and Mercer in that defense. Again, I think you're probably going to see a screen or a draw out of here. Gassett with the handoff right up the middle. It is JT. JT gets to the far side. Not enough time to do anything. That's just going to pad some stats there. Unless they throw him down, and that'll be
44.
We need a flag to come in here, and that'll give the Trojans another play.
They're not going to call it. They haven't called it all night.
Things getting extremely. There's the penalty flag that's coming up. And that's going to be on Edna Karr, we believe, and that'll give the Trojans a shot.
I have a 21-yard carry there before that, Doug. It might be on.
Boy, what a!
I'm afraid that's going to be on us, Doug. The way Bachman, because they're going to half.
It'll be assessed on the opening kickoff of the second half, and I just I don't understand.
Is that because time expired, or?
Well, it's still.
Why would we not possibly get a chance to kick a field goal?
Well, we'll let our rules expert tell you about that. It is
yeah, that would be nice
here.
to know.
And those of you that are watching things, we'll let you listen to the sights and sounds of it as well. We'll be joined here in the booth. I think they're still talking a little bit about it, and they're getting some. The officials are getting an earful from the Edna Karr folks too. Still trying to see how this shakes itself out, Nick.
Well,
they're going to halftime.
Yeah, he's been interviewed
he's
there.
He's just doing his interview with Derry Beckwith.
I still wonder why, possibly get the it was at the 35. The run was ended at the 35, so you get your 15 yards would be at the 20, which would make it a 37-yard field goal. But maybe, I don't know. Maybe if it's post possession, probably, I guess, post possession, time expired. Yeah.
I don't know. Well, we'll be back. Needless to say, it is halftime here at the Caesars Superdome. Trojans with a lot of work to do, but I like the way the second quarter went. We'll be back.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
At Wallace Eye Associates, right now is the best time to have your cataracts removed. A new year means a new deductible, so if you're just not seeing as well as you used to, schedule your cataract evaluation today. It's fully covered by all medical insurances, including Medicare. You never need a referral at Wallace Eye Associates, and our method of next-generation cataract care is the most affordable in the state. There's only one team, one focus, your vision. Wallace Eye Associates.
Are home problems turning your life upside down? Trust Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing to save the day. From keeping you comfortable to plumbing repairs and even generators, we do it all. Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, your one-stop solution for AC, plumbing, and generators. If you need us to save the day for you, call Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing or visit us online at southernairnow.com.
At Wallace Eye Associates, right now is the best time to have your cataracts removed. A new year means a new deductible, so if you're just not seeing as well as you used to, schedule your cataract evaluation today. It's fully covered by all medical insurances, including Medicare. You never need a referral at Wallace Eye Associates, and our method of next-generation cataract care is the most affordable in the state. There's only one team, one focus, your vision. Wallace Eye Associates.
We're back at halftime here in the Caesars Superdome, and joined at halftime by owner and broadcaster and guru behind Under the Lights. You see them do just a number of things football-wise, and Jordan joins us here. And Jordan, welcome aboard, my man.
Doug, thank you for the opportunity to come join you in the booth.
Oh, look, it's great to have you up here for sure. You guys have been doing this for a number of years now, huh?
Yeah, year 6, and finally we get an opportunity to come experience things behind the scenes up here in the press box, and you're a great friend to us, and here we are. What a great opportunity it is, and man, I'm blessed for the opportunity. Thank you.
Look, it's been a lot of fun, and just returning the favor. I mean, you guys showed us around because you've been coming to the Superdome, for 13 years or so, I think.
Yeah, ever since 2013. We graduated in 14, and we ain't missed a year since. We had to go to Natchitoches, we had to go to Tulane, we had to go to UL, but hey, we follow this sucker, and it's a weekend getaway for us. We call it our mini vacation after a great high school football season.
Look, it's done that way, and of course, football is all you guys do, right? You don't roll into anything else after football.
Correct. As soon as football season is over with, me and my wife are actually assistant softball coaches for our alma mater. So as soon as we get this weekend over with, come Monday, the grind starts for the road to Sulphur.
Look, absolutely. It's amazing how that gets going so quickly. Bring a large crew with you here, too. I think I counted 13 people up in the stands where you guys come hang out yesterday.
Yeah, we can see them actually from the booth here. They're still over there. Hopefully they're watching right now. That would be a cool experience. So hello, everyone.
Give them a big
hello,
shout
everyone
out.
down there in the end zone right now. But we make it a weekend getaway. We pile up, see how many people we can bring, and go enjoy some great high school football. And it's been a great weekend of high school football. You guys got here yesterday, and you were treated with three great good ones.
Look, they were amazing. You saw some teams that came back and won some games. You saw some teams that, boy, the armchair quarterbacks and coaches up in the press box row up there is something else. They've all got a mindset of what should have happened in some of those games.
Absolutely, and we see a lot of these coaches throughout the calendar year, and you walk past them and you get recognized, and you know they're doing their X's and O's in the bleachers, and they want to be right there where those other coaches are.
Absolutely, they do. We saw a lot of highlights last night. One of your schools, Cecilia, in a big one on that one last night, and that Diesel Solari is just phenomenal. Amazing career,
and it couldn't have happened to a better individual. He finished his year off at the Superdome, and rightfully so. The career he had is unmatched. I mean, if he had more inches on him, he would be being looked at every college in America right now.
Yeah, it's a tough one to go there. Tell me about that quarterback class of 2027 that's going to be there. You've got a couple of them in this game, or three of them in this game, the two of them for the Trojans, one of them for Edna Karr, but we saw Elijah Haven. One that didn't make it down here was Pop Houston. There are so many quarterbacks in that 2027 class.
Yeah, you got some big-time talent in the state of Louisiana. We saw a great selection of quarterbacks so far in the dome this week.
Right.
But imagine the football that's going to get played these next couple of years, and you're rightfully so. You can see that Elijah Haven right back in here next year. You can see that Pop Houston here before you know, because two incredible talents.
Oh, without a doubt it is. It's been a fun weekend. We saw Shaw started the day off yesterday and then had that Dunham game during the middle of the day. And again, I don't know, you guys were here day one. What stood out for you on day one?
Well, going back to day one, kicking off the Prep Classic, we did 28 games this year.
Right.
Game number 27 and game number 28, we covered the Vermilion Catholic Screaming Eagles.
Right.
What a special moment right there in our local area to see them win the game, seal it with a pick six. The defense has been phenomenal the entire playoffs. They went undefeated. The offense is breaking records. Jonathan Dortez, we call him Johnny Football.
Right.
You saw him carry the ball 47 times
Set
for a record.
That's right.
So it was special knowing that we followed those guys in the playoffs up to this point, and then the game, it was good. Washita Christian, darn good football team, great coaching staff, and he's got a young team here and played a really good VC team. So imagine the future where they'll be right back. And then the nightcap, you saw South Plaquemines for the first time since 2008 win the state title over a Haynesville team that was searching for title number 18. I mean, what a story for South Plaquemine.
There's a lot of history the more that you look into these things. So you guys set a record, 28 games this year, over 60,000 viewers in one of your last games on there.
Yes.
What do you do next year? Are we going 35 games? What are we doing?
I mean, can we get some more Saturday games at the beginning of the schedule? I mean, if they start offering some games on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we'll take them also. But
we'll do that as well. Absolutely.
We're just incredible honored for the opportunity, because these coaches don't have to let us go. But I'm thinking to myself, what an opportunity when we get to these stadiums.
Yeah.
And you sit there and you just take it in and say, man, we're living the dream.
Indeed we are, and had a great day yesterday. A lot of good footage. You can see that all over there Under the Lights Facebook page. You can see it on ours as well, our Twitter page. A lot of opportunities to catch maybe behind the scenes. Jordan, thank you for stopping by. We, as always, appreciate what you guys do. Appreciate what you bring to high school sports in here. And keep on grinding. Let's do 56 games next year, my friend.
Hey, Mr. Doug, not over yet. Not over yet in this one. So. No. Hey, we'll see how this one finishes, but
Trojans defense with 4 turnovers in that second half, or in that first half. The big one, though, the pick six, that really started things on there. I think the Trojans recover in this one and go on and put some points up and make this one pretty interesting, and might be one of those fourth down battles.
Yeah, defense is playing with their hair on fire right now. You got to cash in those turnovers for points.
That's right.
That's going to be big. Can you get a stop coming out of halftime? You get a stop right here, things could get interesting, because the rest of the way, offense got to go.
That's exactly right. George Taylor joining us here Under the Lights. Make sure you go to Facebook and follow him if you haven't done that already. He's our guest here at halftime. Jordan, appreciate you, brother.
Mr.
As
Doug,
always, your
thank
hospitality
you, my friend.
yesterday, showing us around the dark hallows of the Superdome. You let us, you taught us well, my friend.
Hey, you hooked now. We'll see you next year, right?
You absolutely will. Might even come down there and sit in one night on one of them picket shows with you guys.
Come on down, your family.
There you go. Guys, we'll be back. Don't go anywhere. We've got another one coming up with the Ruston broadcast crew when we come back.
Are home problems turning your life upside down? Trust Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing to save the day. From keeping you comfortable to plumbing repairs and even generators, we do it all. Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, your one-stop solution for AC, plumbing, and generators. If you need us to save the day for you, call Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing or visit us online at southernairnow.com.
This month, as we gather with the ones we love, let's take a moment to give thanks for the blessings in our lives. When it comes to protecting what matters most, trust those who care about your family as much as you do.
I'm Jason Hawk, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent. I'm here to help you protect what you hold dear.
Whether auto, home, or life, have peace of mind knowing that your family is covered today, tomorrow, and for years to come. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect what matters most.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
At Wallace Eye Associates, right now is the best time to have your cataracts removed. A new year means a new deductible, so if you're just not seeing as well as you used to, schedule your cataract evaluation today. It's fully covered by all medical insurances, including Medicare. You never need a referral at Wallace Eye Associates, and our method of next-generation cataract care is the most affordable in the state. There's only one team, one focus, your vision. Wallace Eye Associates.
Are home problems turning your life upside down? Trust Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing to save the day. From keeping you comfortable to plumbing repairs and even generators, we do it all. Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, your one-stop solution for AC, plumbing, and generators. If you need us to save the day for you, call Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing or visit us online at southernairnow.com.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
Everybody dancing all night long. Everybody dancing all night long.
And we're back. Halftime rolls on. Doug Gann with 446 Sports bringing you all the action. Our man Kyle Roberts here with the Ruston radio crew. And welcome aboard, my friend.
Thank you, Doug. It's a pleasure to be here in the Superdome.
Look, one thing that I'm noticing, all of my guests, I've got to do better with it. I've had to look up to all the guests, and it doesn't look so bad when I'm doing it here. But when I see it on the camera, it's like, man, this is tough.
Well, that's one of those things that I didn't get a whole lot of great genes from my parents, but one of them gave me a little bit of height, so I'm very, very thankful for that.
Look, what an exciting week it's been. I know, did you get up here today, or when did you guys come in?
So a crew of us came over yesterday.
Okay.
We left around mid-morning. Ruston Lincoln Parish actually kept everybody in school yesterday, so did not let everybody out. And so a few of us have teaching jobs. I actually teach at Louisiana Tech, and so I had class yesterday morning, and then once that was done, we headed down here to New Orleans and went to bed early last night, which was really nice. And then we got here this morning, and we've been here ever since.
Look, it was great to see you guys down there. You got a big one coming up after this one.
Yes.
Another 2-5A opponent that is playing for a state title in this one, and you guys have Central.
Yeah, and we're very excited to take on this Central team. A week ago, everybody in North Louisiana was kind of circling, oh, my goodness, can Neville and Ruston meet up in the Superdome?
That's right.
And the second layer of that potential matchup was that would have been the 100th time Neville and Ruston have played.
Yeah, I remember we talked about that.
And listen, I told people all week long that any time in sports, if something sounds too good to be true, it's going to be. And who was going to be the one to sort of trip over the rake? And unfortunately, I say unfortunately, for Ruston, we handled business against Destrehan at home, which was good to see. We had not ever beaten Destrehan in football. And so that was a big deal for our program. And then, unfortunately, Neville was not able to get past Central. That Wildcat team is good. And so nobody should be planning any parties on Bourbon Street tonight if you're the Bearcats. We're going to have to come out here and play really good football today.
We talked to a number of people throughout the stadium, and it was yesterday when we were here. We spent all day inside the dome yesterday, and it was half Ruston and half Central. Now, was it divided around Alexandria and everything up was Ruston and everything south was Central?
Sure.
Maybe so, but you got a lot of good conversation out of it, and everybody wanted to see it. A lot of folks wanted to see Karr and Alexandria, and I still think we've got a good second half coming. I don't think the Trojans are out of it just yet.
Absolutely not. And, I know it did not start the way that you wanted it to, but I felt like you guys really finished the half really well. The kids are still going to be competing. I could tell you from calling an Ash game earlier in this season, you guys can score fast. And so to be down 3 scores against a really good Edna Karr football team, you still have 24 minutes of football if you're an Ash Trojan fan. Do not turn the dial. Keep it right here on Doug. And, again, there's plenty of chances left to go, and we are hoping so badly today for a District 2-5A sweep.
And you guys are looking at back-to-back titles on there, too. You win it last year, and how does that feel?
This Ruston program has such a storied history with football.
Right.
Last year was the first time there had ever been a Ruston team that had been in the Superdome 2 years in a row.
Goodness gracious.
Which means, dating back to 1921, never done it back-to-back.
How long have you been? You've called all those from 1920?
I wish. In all honesty, I graduated Ruston High School in 2000. My best friend, Brett McCormick, who you are all familiar with at Alexandria Senior High, I was the best man in his wedding. He graduated with me from Ruston High School. I've been on the call for 14 years now.
That's awesome.
And, yes, I love this school. I love the program. I love the people in the community. And, I'm going to try really hard not to get emotional, but, the way that I see how when the football team is successful, the community is successful. Yes. Everybody locks together regardless of socioeconomic backgrounds. We all come together to support these Bearcats. It's something wonderful to see, and we love our head coach too. Jared Ball is a wonderful man, and I'm hoping that I'm calling football games with him as the head coach at Ruston High School 20 years from now.
Absolutely, and we have those same thoughts. Kyle, we appreciate you taking the time out of it. I know you guys
Doug,
are getting
thank
ready
you.
for your game that's coming up. Good luck to the Bearcats, and go for the sweep there, and hopefully there's a sweep in here.
We're going to be pulling for you guys all the way today.
There you have it. Kyle Roberts joining us. He is on the Ruston Bearcat Nation. So tune in and you'll be able to listen to that. We'll be back right after this for the start of the second half.
Are home problems turning your life upside down? Trust Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing to save the day. From keeping you comfortable to plumbing repairs and even generators, we do it all. Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, your one-stop solution for AC, plumbing, and generators. If you need us to save the day for you, call Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing or visit us online at southernairnow.com.
Yeah, so what happened out there tonight?
We struck out at home with leftovers, then we remembered walk-ons.
What effect did the situation have?
Spirit soared. Nick took on a burger. Jen obliterated her ribeye po' boy. And speaking of spirits, Laura even scored a real tasty cocktail. She needed that.
Any lessons learned today?
Yeah. Head straight to walk-ons.
Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers, and cocktails. Walk-ons for the win.
And I believe somehow we're back here at high atop the Caesars Superdome area. I don't think I had to duck earlier for the blimp. Did you see that? Wow, goodness.
That's great. I like that one.
Great for Jordan Taylor with UTL under the lights to join us. Kyle Roberts with the Bearcat Nation. They're getting ready, Nick, for their second opportunity at a state title in a row, winners of the state championship in 2023, and their third trip in a row down to the Superdome.
Yeah, and that should be a great matchup. It's I don't think it's going to be like this one where it's going to be high scoring. I think that might be a 15-14 game with Central's defense and Ruston's defense, and Ruston's used to playing games like that. So I will say Central's probably one of the very few teams that could play the same style ball as they do in Northeast Louisiana.
A little more ground and pound, to say the least. Yeah, this is, you asked me a question. What did you ask me when we were earlier today? You said, how did they finish these games in 2 hours and 15 minutes?
Yes.
I said, these have been rolling along. We're an hour 50 into this one, and we're just at the break. So there is a lot of football. And this is not an Edna Karr team, Nick, that's built to grind out a second half.
Yeah, and I also wonder if it's not, being on the weekdays, maybe this one there, because it didn't seem to be as many TV timeouts and stuff whenever I was watching them. You want some stats, Doug?
Let's have it.
All right, JT Lindsey, 19 carries, 100 yards. So, good. He had 110 positive yards, but he had, a few 10 yards negative. Kyle Sellers, he has two sacks for negative 14. Max Gassett, 4 for 47, 1 touchdown. Sellers 1 for 5 passing with the INT. Max had 8 complete. Wait, excuse me. Sellers 1 for 5. Max is 6 for 8. For 37 yards. Jimmy Duncan 2 receptions for 1 yard. Darius 2 receptions for 9 yards, and Alex 1 reception for 23 yards.
And that was a big one to Fondo on there. So we're excited about this one. Again, the Trojans are kicking off from the Edna Karr 45-yard line, and we saw video footage of part of what was going on there. One of them was letting the Trojans know they were number 1.
Yeah.
Fung set to put a foot into this one. We've got 24 minutes remaining in this one. Trojans trail at 32-8, but don't go anywhere. This one is far from over. These Trojans will make adjustments. That second quarter was pretty solid. Fung puts a foot into this one, and they're going to try to roll it up. It's a high bouncing one, and it's picked up there by Edna Karr, but out to the 33. So you're okay with that. You almost try to steal one there, but Edna Karr has it, so no harm, no foul.
Yeah, it's not much different than where they have been starting. So, yeah.
That was just good work, though, by Oliver Mitchell to just go up and high point that football and get it.
Yeah, when these guys have taken, they everything that we've tried to do, they've counteracted really well.
All right, John Johnson, the sophomore quarterback for Edna Karr, calls his troops together from the 33-yard line. Just getting started here now in the third quarter. Johnson's going to do a designed keeper there. Cuts back to the inside, and he's just elusive, Nick. We told you. We've talked about that all game.
Yeah, and that one we have Gaines and Xavier, with outside. Maybe one of them could have been outside and forced the other one into each other, but Townsend ended up making the tackle there.
9-yard carry for Johnson, and it'll make it second down and 1. Now look at the clock. So they quickly get up to the line, but not in a hurry to go fast. Johnson now is going to keep to the far side, and he's being right back into the hands, and it's still going to fall for a first down. But, I mean, the Trojans, everywhere he looked, there was a Trojan, but still got him a couple of yards and a first down.
Yeah, Jackson Townsend turns him inside. Carrot Gaines turns him back, and then looks like Ethan Richard with the tackle there.
Again, this is audio only. Clock will be kept up here. We'll let you know about it. The score is correct. Handoff goes off to the right side. A couple of good plays by Edna Karr, or a couple of the Trojan defense, and Edna Karr, though, getting back in. And they're in a 4-minute offense, if you will, here. They're just running that ball. 2 receivers stacked to the far side, 2 stacked to the near side. That's 14, and all eyes on Teron Francis.
It's pick your poison. They move Jackson outside, and they just run the ball because Xavier's the only one in there.
Handoff goes up the middle and right up the gut.
See?
Yeah, when you come out to cover, that leaves a big opening in the middle.
That's it. Cortez there and Carrot Gaines there, but it's like it says, pick your poison because we have 3 down linemen and we have Xavier in there because Townsend goes out and they move Gaines to that free safety. So they're basically playing a 3-3-5, Doug, and it puts Xavier on the island in the middle there.
Yeah, and when you're going to continue to run the ball, that island is supposed to prevent John Johnson from throwing the ball,
right.
But now they're just grinding ahead, trying to run clock and run time in this one. Handoff comes to the near side, a lot of space out to the 30, now 25, driven out of bounds by J-Lou. He's got one of those 4 interceptions for the Trojan defense in the first half, but not doing a lot of good now if they can't stop the run because this is chewing up some good clock.
Yeah, Jay Frazier there trying to strip the running back. Have Jayton Terry man up against Teron Francis. And like I said, Doug, with the exception of that one play, so far, I mean, they've kept him under wraps.
And tight coverage on him, too.
Mm-hmm.
They'll jam it. Terry will jam him off the line. Got a couple of linebackers in there now. I don't think they've spread Townsend out as far. False start against Edna Karr here. 9-14, so Edna Karr's taking 3 minutes off of this drive. Heck, 3 minutes into the first quarter, and the Trojans were down, 14-0, 21-0?
Yes. Mm-hmm. That's their 4th penalty of the game, Doug, for 35. Your Trojans still only have 1 penalty for 10 yards.
And they have 4 interceptions.
Yes.
If you script out things that you'd like,
right,
you're checking off all of those boxes. First down at 15, Edna Karr. Play action, going across the middle. It's complete, but a hammer is put down by K5. Griffin comes in there and gets that one, and that ball was
big pass break up there.
Complete, but just jarred loose.
Yeah, big pass break up there by K5. And, Doug, you were talking about the 4 interceptions. They were pretty much just, unlike ours, they were just punts.
That's right.
I mean, they were 4 punts because they were all deep into our defensive part of the field.
That's one of those 2 safeties over the top. He and J-Lou have had a pretty
That's
good
true.
ball game.
That's true. They've had a positive 4 points. Another false start, huh? No.
Johnson up the middle. We'll see if X is able to get to him, and he's not. Shaken off. Good hold on the outside by Francis and driven out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
K5 there on the tackle. His 4th solo of the night. I mean, we can watch replay on the screen. I know y'all can't see it, but, I mean, it's Xavier and him. I mean, it's just,
he just kind of scoots forward, so good.
And you're right. They did miss a hold for Francis on Jayton.
Yep, sure did. There's good work in the backfield. Just got to get him down. That's
Jackson Townsend.
Yeah, Jackson does great work.
Actually going to be a sack, Doug.
They had a couple of losses back of the first part of this drive, but, man, Edna Karr off to a 3.5, 4-minute drive here, looking to pay it off and get that touchdown back. Johnson will come to the near side. He's not going to get there.
Oh, boy.
Second effort might have got him in. That official moved inside the goal line, so I don't like that. We saw, Dunham a couple of times yesterday got inside the red zone and was unable to get anything going.
Yeah, that's the thing, like with Francis's touchdown earlier, hey, anytime they have to take an extra snap, I'm all for it. I mean, unless time, affects us getting the ball back, but anytime they have to take that extra snap, anything can happen.
Boy, this Trojan defense just has to stand strong here. This has been an epic drive for Edna Karr out of the half. They have it. Handoff up the middle, touchdown. will get there. That is number 4, Bryant Sanchez. No, that can't be.
Yeah.
4. Yeah.
Well, if it's Sanchez, it's 4.
Yeah. Gets into the end zone. You see him on. Well, we see him on the screen there.
Yep. He's.
And that puts another 6 points on the board, but more importantly, chewed up a lot of time. Get back up to the top and get. $38 now to 8. 38-point lead. Extra point is up, and it is good. Going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll see what the Trojans are able to do offensively on 446 Sports.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
Back to the Caesars Superdome we go. Edna Karr takes the opening kickoff of the second half and goes 4 minutes and 16 seconds. That is your Tee It Up Golf Drive summary. Thanks to our friends at Tee It Up Golf. And they finish it off. Trojans defense made several good plays, but that big long run down to the 1 yard line kind of did them in.
Yeah, John Johnson there. And notice he only had the one pass attempt that was actually broke up by K5.
And was near completed.
Yeah.
But Griffin just came on, and as soon as there was contact made, he was making contact. Good, clean, brutal hit. Jarred the ball loose. Boy, that Trojan fan base has just not had anything to cheer about all game. Kickoff is there. It's going to come back over to Darius at the 6. D-Dub's got it from the 6 yard line, runs right into the teeth of that Edna Karr Cougar defense. And that's where the Trojans will take over. First down and 10.
Looks like they're going Gassett, Doug.
Yeah, Gassett again gives them that little bit of mobility. And I think Edna Karr attacks it differently. They look in and see that Gassett's in there at quarterback. Max has JT flanked to his left. 2 receivers to the near side, to the top. Little Noah's Ark formation going on for the Trojans. Gassett calls for it. He's going to go JT. JT cutting to the outside now, back inside the hash.
How's he?
Gets gets 10. They give him the first down. And Gassett fakes that like he's got it. JT comes off. He's off the field, and that'll get Darbon back into the game. Vaughn Darbon in at running back, the senior. He goes off left side. Now cuts back inside, does Vaughn. Spins around down to the 35-yard line, just inside the 36.
Looks like another one, Doug. Yep, another first down.
Yep, they'll move him. So 10 yards on back-to-back carries for the Trojans.
Vaughn's first carry of the game for 10 yards.
Never really would have expected that. And Vaughn's going to start a little bit early. That play was doomed from the start. He started leaning forward. May have been a false start. I don't think they called it, though. And the official in the white hat was looking over and said, hey, was that a false start? Nothing doing there.
Yeah, also one there. As long as he's going forward, he might be okay on the movement pre-snap there out of the backfield. It's like Townsend in, Doug.
Gassett's got a man in motion coming near side. That's Washington. Little misdirection. Gassett going over the top, bobbling around, nearly intercepted. And boy, had a good look at it, did Cody Morris. But Gassett, long developing play, because he does have a little bit extra time, Nick. They're not coming at him for fear of that run.
Let me tell you what, he was open when that ball was thrown, and that closed quick.
Yeah, Cody came off of that, did Cody Morris. We saw it on the screen, but the closing speed was just there. Morris now to the far side he goes. So keep an eye on that. Duncan is in the seam. He's got man coverage, and the safety help is over the top of that. Duncan's got an opportunity. Excuse me, folks. Back to it we go. Spun around, and that one.
There it is. Yes.
Yeah, there's
yes.
going to be a pass interference is called there. And
that right arm, he was holding him with that right arm.
Yeah, and it had Hayward Howard had Darius twisted around on it. And so the Trojans benefit from that one. But, well, we're nearing halfway through this one. And
yeah, 15-yard penalty, pass interference, defensive pass interference there from on number 21, who is Hayward Howard, who's had a really good game all night, but penalized on that one for the Karr.
This cool Superdome air is starting to get to me, I think. Gassett, again, a false start. It looked like they were wanting to look over to the sideline or something and do that, but Trojans getting the benefit of a couple of penalties here. They've got to capitalize. Just haven't been able to capitalize on anything today, Nick. The 4 interceptions, they weren't able to. Getting the benefit of a few things, but boy, this Edna Karr defense is able to bend and not break.
Yeah, it's only our second penalty of the game for 15 yards.
Gassett brings Townsend in motion again.
Oh,
and that one is thrown away, is snapped away, and Townsend and Gassett talking to each other. And I think that Townsend's telling him, hey, look, you're calling the wrong thing.
I don't know if that wasn't Doug, I don't know if that wasn't a trick play that might have, maybe they were supposed to do that and then they go to JT. I don't know. But that was kind of weird for him to be saying that in the middle of, he just stopped in the middle of his motion.
Officials timeout, so they'll sit and
maybe there's a, I don't know, but.
It does seem weird that Tanner would stop in the middle of the play and say, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah, if that wasn't designed, then there was something going on. They're pointing.
But it was a very, very terrible result of a play, and now the clock does run, and the Trojans have to get all the way out to the Edna Karr 40. And, Nick, they're throwing 26.
Yes.
So, gosh. 34 yards, I guess. Of course, I could look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, no, that's right.
And it would tell me. If I look at the big digital scoreboard that's clocked here in the Caesars Superdome, that tells me what it is. Delay of game now is being whistled, and this thing has gone from bad to worse, Nick. That is probably the 2 weirdest plays we've seen all year.
Yeah, it's definitely, like I said, you had the false start right before that, which, I mean, we were coming off of two back-to-back, first down runs, and then a 15-yard penalty. So had the momentum there, like you said, all the way to the 50-yard line, and then it's been backwards ever since.
Gassett back to pass now again. He's going over the top, and that one's going to be incomplete. And just had so far to go. I don't think you're able to get over the top of this Edna Karr defense. You're going to have to hit something down the seam and let somebody make a play.
Yeah, I mean, but it's just kind of remarkable how when he's in, they don't pressure. They have not been pressuring near as much as when Sellers is in.
Because Sellers has had zero time.
Right.
We'll see what the Trojans can do here, trying to avoid disaster. They're just going to set up the little draw play there and try to live again. And that's not what you needed out of this at all. Punt team will come on for the Trojans.
Yeah, 8-yard run play there by JT.
Yeah, JT over 100 yards again today. Puts him over 2,500 in his career. I'm sorry, for this season for the Trojans. But, boy, it's been a plethora of bad occurrences for the Trojans in this one. Snap is back now. Fung will get it away. It's high and not going to turn over. Caught by Francis at the 42 and a host of penalties, so no matter what comes on. They tackled Cortez Simon on the far side. Did 2 defenders from Edna Karr. And so what was caught around, the 40?
40, yeah.
40-yard line will go back at least to the 30, we believe. maybe let the white hat get out there and they'll discuss it, and we'll listen in and see what he has.
I'm hoping the second flag by the umpire was just confirmation on the hold. I'm hoping.
Well, they had two guys that were laying on top of Cortez, and so that's probably what you're going to see.
I'll tell you what, when they're waiting for the penalties, it gets quiet in this play. I mean, we can hear Ash's cheer squad from way on the other side of the field.
Got another one to go here. If you're watching on the LHSAA network, there's so that'll put them around the 30-yard line is where they'll go. And you'll see it on the screen up there too.
Maybe that's why it's taking us so long, Doug. It takes them 3.5 minutes to call the penalty.
You got to see the reviews. You've only seen one of those today, but they take forever. Edna Karr will start at the 32-yard line here. 4:40 to go in this one. Boy, we missed it by 6 seconds. Probably at the start of that play. Very subdued Trojan crowd, as you might could imagine. They've got a lot of work to do in this one to get back into it. Trail by 31. Motion from Karr. Johnson back to pass. Going for it all here for the big strike. It's complete out to number 2.
Yeah.
That is Dejon Smith.
Yeah.
Out there with J-Lou.
Yeah, and Johnson had all day, Doug. I mean, nobody around him.
And you went from let's grind out, let's establish a drive, and let's go take some. Now they're looking to knock the lights out.
And that's that Dejon Smith, who's, I mean, I don't have his stats. I'm sure that we could probably see him on the screen at some point, but he's had a phenomenal night.
Smith with a play action, got a man running free again, and that is into the end zone to Teron Francis. Spins the ball, and
that's a penalty.
Yeah, it ought to be.
That's a penalty, guys. That's been a penalty all season.
Anytime you do something with it like that, it's going to do it, but that's 45-8 now.
We've had this crew before, and that's a penalty.
Has been in the past. Indeed.
My gosh.
This is all Edna Karr in this one. Extra point is up, and it is good. We'll be back. You're watching the Select Division I state title game here, and it's all Edna Karr, 46-8. We'll be right back.
This month, as we gather with the ones we love, let's take a moment to give thanks for the blessings in our lives. When it comes to protecting what matters most, trust those who care about your family as much as you do.
I'm Jason Hawk, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent. I'm here to help you protect what you hold dear.
Whether auto, home, or life, have peace of mind knowing that your family is covered today, tomorrow, and for years to come. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect what matters most.
Back to the Caesars Superdome we go. Trojans have ran into an undefeated buzzsaw here at Edna Karr. They're the ones that last to beat the Trojans, did it in the quarterfinals a year ago, Nick, and it was a much closer game then than this one's turned out to be.
I was just fixing to say that if you didn't, but
that one ended 40-34, I guess.
Yep.
And Trojans had an opportunity, but Edna Karr just leaving no doubt in this one. They've got a lot of guys that will be playing on Saturdays. They've got a number of guys that will be playing on Sundays before that's all over with. Teron Francis, one of those. He's got a couple of touchdowns on the day.
Yeah, here we go. Darius Washington takes the ball at the 15 as he's tackled at the 22-yard line for the return from D-Dub on the kickoff from Edna Karr, and looks like Carson Sellers is going to be back in for quarterback position here.
JT's had a game that he's got over 100 yards in it, but it's been a couple of big plays, and it's just been, they stack that line and they come after him so well. 2 receivers now to the near side. That's Fontenot there with Jimmy. And JT is in the backfield with Carson. He tries to hit the quick slant. But these receivers are not getting a moment off the line of scrimmage that they're not being hung on to.
Yeah, Hayward Howard there with a little contact. Maybe the ball wasn't in the air yet. It's not pass interference without the ball being in the air, but definitely was some contact. But, just can't get any rhythm.
I guess the point, too, is that these receivers are not giving any – I mean, look at them now. They're a yard off of the receiver. Stepping back a little bit. JT's got it, but he's swallowed up there. Big number 90 has got it again, Nick. And I don't know how many times that we've called Richard Anderson's name.
So many times I don't want to say it again.
Right.
But no, that young man's earned it. He's done well. He really has.
Big shout out to our travel partners that made it possible to come down and do this one. The folks at Quibido's, the law office of Stephen Spurgeon. Of course, our friends at Jerry Lee and Company. And Walker Mazda. Host of Folks Explore, Alexandria Pineville is on board. Valex Federal Credit Union, Mid-South Orthopedic and Sports Medicine. New family members here at 446 Sports, and we appreciate all of that you've done. Sellers back to pass. He's rolling now far side and just chunks that one away. And not really a rhythm at all, Nick, for the young sophomore quarterback.
No, I mean, just like I said, it's totally different when he's in the way the pressure's coming, and like I said, and we're not getting much separation we're not getting initial separation. Let's put it that way. I mean, it's one thing if they like I said, if they were getting initial separation, Carson could be hitting them.
And that was Gassett in there they're just showing you different plays that defense has made.
Right,
okay. Yeah. Number 90 has been everywhere. And again, won't say his name. No, that young man doing tremendous. Back to Eli. He's got to step back. He comes up a couple of steps and only gets his best punt of the day off.
Mm-hmm.
But waiting for it there is Teron Francis, and he is driven out of bounds.
Yeah, Cortez Simon, last game of his high school career, has just been all over the place.
Penalty flag comes in way late, and probably 30 yards down the field it comes in.
Maybe it's the number 1 signal that we saw earlier.
It could have very well been. Had a photo sent to me of that one. And the way that was so something was spotted away from the officials that were right around it, because that one came, I'm telling you, from 25 yards away. There's no foul for it, he said.
I don't know if he might have thought it was a late hit, maybe, and since, I don't know.
I'm standing here beside myself on that one.
I'll take my headset off, and I can hear the boo birds, so obviously didn't like the non picking up the.
And look, Edna Karr looking to make this a statement win. Expect them to take a shot down the field here. They've got 3 receivers to the near side. 2 of them are stacked. Francis leading the way. 1 receiver to the top side in just an island over there. Well, if you ever wanted to take a one-on-one shot, that would be it. Instead, they're going to do a little trickeration, come with a reverse to the inside. Xavier is going to get the tackle on Dejon Smith, but not before another 10-yard gain. Give him 9.
Good work there by Xavier getting over there, but once again, I mean, first contact wasn't 6 yards down the field, and he fell forward for 9.
Folks from Edna Karr starting to get loud. False start, not whistled. They adjust and stay straight with it. 2nd down and 1 from the 38.
Good work there by Cortez.
Yeah, he fires off of there, and it's actually going to be a loss of a yard. It'll bring up 3rd down and 2. 2 minutes even remain in this 3rd quarter of play. This was when the Trojans came back and got that touchdown. Thought they have another chance, but it's just been 2 unanswered for Edna Karr here in the 2nd, Nick.
Yeah.
3rd down and 2 for Johnson and his crew. Here comes some pressure to the near side. Thought Townsend might be creeping up, but just enough to make Johnson change his mind. 9 and 8 and 7 on the play clock. Play action. Bopped up in the air and down.
Looking to see if was that J-Lou that had the pass break. Let's see on the ground there. Nope, that is K5 with the pass breakup. Good work there by Kyron Griffin. His 2nd pass breakup of the game. Like you said, 4th and 2, Doug. Let's see what they do. They're going to go for it. Bring in number 26.
Look, there's no doubt in my mind they continue because they absolutely have nothing to lose right here.
Yeah, Trey Garrison checks in at running back, number 26 for Carr. Probably going to be a John Johnson keeper, yeah.
Good block to the inside and a stiff arm there by Johnson on Xavier. If he didn't need more than just a couple to go, he wouldn't have got it, but Xavier and company are not able to keep the chains from moving.
Yeah, I had a friend of ours text and says, can the MVP have 4 interceptions? The MVP of the game. So he's kind of getting a little premature there on the MVP pick. But
well, they will name an outstanding player from each team in this one. Rolling to the far side, good pursuit by the Trojans, but unable to tackle, and another just falling forward. And, Nick, this is the kind of stuff that we saw the Trojans do all year long, is just get out of it the first tackle, fall forward, and do something.
Yeah, for sure.
This one not really in doubt anymore, Nick. You know, a lot of football left. I get all of that, but handoff up the middle. You sit and you turn your focus on looking at Teron Francis, big wide receiver who'll make his way down to LSU. Another one going to Tulane, one going over to Tech. And it's just such a crew because when you've got a quarterback like John Johnson that's able to take off running, you have to be careful on what you cover, and goodness. But I don't know, Nick.
Doug, I think the main difference between last year and this year is that number 1.
Yeah.
Although he's had 4 interceptions, he did not run the ball like this last year in that game.
That's going to do it for the 3rd period of play. We'll be back right after this. You're listening to the state championship football on 446 Sports. Great to hear from folks that do have wisdom on their texts that come in. That one came across Nick's phone, and a lot of wisdom in that text, Nick. About
appreciate my lifelong friend Chris Bond, chiming in, talking about how mature I look
he's
on TV now.
Specifics is what he's doing. I mean, he's not said anything that's not the truth.
Thanks for tuning in, Chris and Christy and their 3 girls. Their middle girl, homecoming queen at Tioga this year for the Indians, and just a great family. I've been friends with them a long, long time.
Still got the red hat on the field. Is that Danny?
No, it's not Danny. I don't know if Danny will be doing that for them anytime soon.
Ever again. That's right.
Oh,
jeez.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Boy, you prepare and you get back and you look at what a wonderful season, Nick, that it has been for both these squads, for the Trojans, because we traveled a lot of miles with them, the community. And I'll tell the community this loss is not the end of anything. They're going to be back, and they're going to be better than ever. And don't let your support be just because there's a game in the Superdome. Let it continue to be out on week 1 and week 2 and week 3.
And that's one thing about this team, Doug, is from Destrehan to the semifinal last week.
Right.
That crowd didn't grow much because there was not room for it to grow.
It couldn't grow.
At the games.
Correct.
Now I'm pretty sure, we've had some extra people for this, and we're grateful.
Snap is back to Johnson. Johnson's going to keep it to the far side, trying to get to the corner. Gets enough for the first down, but he and Griffin go out of bounds over that Sugar Bowl fold-up sign that's there.
Yeah, Kyron Griffin's 5th solo tackle of the game. And
look, K5's been solid today. He's been all over the place.
Just a lot of bad memories of Jalen Milroe with watching this guy. I mean, well deserved. I mean, him and the Anderson kid on number 90 on defense.
These quarterbacks that are sophomores around the state, Nick,
yes.
I've never seen a time where there's been that many good, talented 2-year-away class quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Handoff to the far side is going to be stopped for a gain of just a couple.
Yeah, Griffin and Xavier there again, and that's been kind of the knock on Louisiana high school football. You had Peyton Manning, you had Eli, you had a few, you had the Eli, who was at St. Thomas More a few years back, who's now at Pitt.
Oh, no, Eli Holstein out of Zachary.
Yeah, I'm sorry, at Zachary, yeah. Was it STM, transferred to Zachary. And so you've had, a few of those.
And Walker Howard.
Yep. Good
that
work
one
there by
tipped up
Townsend.
in the air, yeah. Jackson Townsend. Another one of those guys that are going to be back for another season here with the Trojans.
But I will say, I mean, you look at it now, and like you're talking about, this sophomore class is just remarkable. And they're so diverse in everything they do. You have some pocket passers. You have some, two-way. They'll run or pass the ball. And then you have an athlete like this young man, Johnson, who gets a 2-yard gain there on 3rd down. Big tackle by Xavier.
Working on things here to get everybody caught up to speed on where we're at in this game. It is in the 4th quarter. We play with a little under 11 minutes to go. Snap back to Johnson. He'll survey things, going to try to take it up the middle and goes out to the far side. Jay's got to get him down, unable to get him, and Johnson will scamper into the end zone on 4th down and long on an 18-yard touchdown run.
Yeah. Not much.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
it's just unfortunate there. He's back there. He's got all day to throw, and nobody's there. And then everybody's got their back to him. Jay tries to come up and make a play, and just couldn't quite bring him down. We've got a friendly compliment from Darryl Campbell saying that we clean up well.
Look, that's and look, I got grief from my crew, just so you know, about us not wearing Crocs and sweat tops and all of those things up here. 53, so the extra point is up and good. We appreciate everybody that's win with us. Nick, this season we swelled up over 8,000 followers on Facebook and got over 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. And so I don't think it's anything that we're doing at all so much as it is that we're putting a lot of high school sports in front of people.
Yeah, and it's great. You and I have talked about it off air. We've talked about on air how whenever Chris and I played ball, back at Bolton, we'd be on Axe twice a year, and look, we went, we were very competitive, made playoff runs and everything, but that's just all you had. You just, you get your 5 minutes on the local, back then there were 2 local radio stations, 2 local, news stations. So, but just, what you've provided through 446 Sports and all our groups and how it's expanded, it's just been really great for these young men and women because we cover multiple sports, and it's been great.
Indeed we do. And, in all of the venues that we went to, folks were cheering for the Trojans. I mean, this area was all about Alexandria. Great video that was put out by Carl Carpenter and the Pineville Rebels. They visited with 3 of the remaining members from that 1960 championship. That kick is up in the air, and D-Dub's going to come field it at the 13-yard line. He'll have it out to the 20, 25 before he is driven to the ground.
Yeah, Kylan Sion,
yeah,
number 15.
You got to be careful about things not getting too chippy out there over the last little bit of it. It's just been a season of emotion, a game swelling with pride, and we wind up this final 9:25, Nick, because the clock is now running in that, and clock won't stop the rest of the way unless there's a timeout. It's went over that 42-point margin, which is not at all what you thought would come out of it today. Trojans set to go from the 25-yard line. Handoff will come to Jimmy Duncan on the little end around. Gassett thought about a block but backed off of it. Fontenot with a tremendous block downfield, and that's a 19-yard pickup for the Trojans.
Yep, first carry by Jimmy Duncan there on that reverse. And
keep an eye out for Jimmy Duncan next year at Northwestern State
yep.
University in Natchitoches, Louisiana. JT Lindsay will be down in Baton Rouge, or up in Baton Rouge from where we're at right now. Vaughn getting a carry there. And
yeah, Vaughn with the 3-yard gain off the right side here behind Price and Reed. So good work there by Vaughn.
8:22 to go to count off in this one. And this one, like I said, will wrap up pretty quickly now, rather expeditiously once the clock's going.
You've also said, Doug, that there's going to be multiple more guys from this team
Absolutely.
that are going to sign with schools in February.
Yeah.
You know, they're trying to see what their offers will be, but they'll be.
J. Lou's going to go play somewhere. You know that. Cortez will go somewhere and play. Down the middle, but thrown behind Tanner.
Yeah, he had time. Had time there to make the pass, and Tanner popped open and just couldn't quite connect. But you know, Doug, we saw him at the
pep rally.
Night, okay. Marquise Butler. You know, he looks like he's going to go on, you know, track. He's a field athlete, and he's a young man that we've missed this season on the field, but off the field he's been phenomenal for us.
You always know when he's leaving or getting there. That's
very,
for sure.
Very respectful young man. You know, comes up to us at every show.
In a loud car.
Yeah, in a loud car. But
Gassett back to pass. He's got that one complete to Jimmy. Jimmy's going to be knocked down at the 40-yard line. Northwestern's getting him a good one. They're going to get what Ben Taylor out of airline. That quarterback's coming that way.
Yes, yeah, that's going to be a good combination too. And I like what that coach is doing up there. He had to start from scratch.
McCorkle. Snap is back. Vaughn's got it. And Vaughn may be out there to finish this thing out, Nick.
Let
the senior get some more reps as this thing winds down.
Yeah, last week, post-game, Mom kind of just, I'll tell you, you're doing a call here.
Keeps it up the middle. Go ahead.
I think he's at a yard there. There was conversation that, you know, JT was going to be, you know, doing some rehab stuff. So let's just
they've got
just
the
say
picture
that right
of JT
now.
up on the big billboard here. But look for Vaughn probably to finish things out. Gassett back to pass now and throws that one just errantly out to the 20-yard line. Quarterback play that was good all year long, Nick, was not tonight. And JT had no. Look at your buddy Eris getting some screen time up there here on the broadcast. They continue to talk, so we can only imagine they're having some good conversations about the future of that young man. I'm predicting. I'm going to go out on a limb. You're looking at your future Heisman Trophy winner right there, number 6.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Coach Bachman just took a timeout, and look at him. You see him on the screen. We can see him here, just frustrated with the way that this thing spiraled out from the get-go. But go ahead, Nick.
I'm just going to say this. Any pundits out there that say anything about JT in this game, okay, there's a reason that he did not, you know, he still went over 100 yards. He's 110, 118. He's 117 yards against the Edna Karr defense with 0 passing game.
That's right.
You know, so So let's talk about that. But that young man has battled.
Yeah.
He has battled, and he has earned every yard, and he's earned that scholarship, and he is going to do great things at LSU, like you're talking about.
He's carrying. You saw the explosiveness on the runs. And look, I'm telling you, I look for a Heisman Trophy to come down to, and it's hard for a running back to win the Heisman Trophy. It's flashy for quarterbacks and the like to win that. But this day and age, it's a passing-heavy program there. But watch for big things to come in, and that's a lot to put on that young man. But I tell you, there's not going to be anybody that outworks JT Lindsey when he goes off. Excited to follow the career of Jimmy Duncan and Darius Washington and Tanner Townsend and that offensive line, Caleb Pearl and guys. Back to pass, but now Gassett's going to step up, spins around, and throws that one away. Could be grounding if they choose to call anything.
I think he's out of the tackle. I think he went past the line of scrimmage.
Edna Karr's got a couple of guys got hurt, but it's not, again, 4:46 remaining here in this ball game, and I nailed it that time. Did you see they set up a little salute to us last night? Did I send you that picture?
Yeah, you did.
On there?
You did.
I thought you might like that.
Yeah.
Just want to shout out our entire crew that's been with us. Of course, Roger Walker stayed back home, doesn't go on the road games with us. Josh Gann, who does our scoreboard and things back home. It's been a tremendous crew. Brett Stallsby, brother-in-law, does a lot of work with us. Jason Crooks, who is on camera. He and Brett are down on the field. And, Chuck's been with us. Billy's been with us some. It's a great crew that we have here. Partner, in your second year, new heights have ascended, and we appreciate everything that you do. There's some work to the near side. Continuing to run, he'll go out of bounds, but it won't matter. But couldn't do it without all of those guys that make it possible for us. And you, the fans at home that tune in each and every, Thursday and Friday and some Mondays and Tuesdays and occasional Wednesday.
Yeah, no, we have a great support system. The our families allowing us to do this, supporting us and letting us. I mean, this is, stuff that we enjoy to do, and I'm grateful, for my bunch allowing me to spend time, doing this type stuff. And like you said, all the sponsors, everybody involved, just the kind words that you get when you're walking through the community.
Yeah.
The young man that works at Cougars, that's a big Trojan fan. And
when I see Jason Blackwell's daddy at Walmart,
yes, Jason,
on Coliseum all the time, and he
yeah.
talks about it. He actually got to get off today, and he came down.
Excellent,
to the game.
excellent.
But it's community, and it's there, and looking forward to many more trips to the Caesars Superdome.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, this is now twice in the state championship for these Trojans in the past 5 years, and obviously the results aren't what they'd like. But Coach Bachman and staff, let's say that Coach Donahoe, Coach Mercer, Coach Arthrod, Coach Bonton, Coach OJ, Coach Corville,
Ham, who's there this year,
yeah, Coach Freeman, Coach Hamilton, Coach Mingo, Eris Murphy, Coach Russo, Coach Skipper, Coach Webb, Coach Wilkerson, and those guys taking time out on Thursday to come to our show and support, these young men.
We will be back next year for high school football. Started it earlier this year, I think. We started doing some things, and who knows what we'll do from it with there. But this is going to wrap up our coverage of high school football. As this will be down in Baton Rouge on December 30th for the Gridiron All-American football game. And appreciate Dr. Carl Carpenter that was tuned in listening to us. He heard us talking about things there, and probably not going to answer that phone call that's ringing. First one that's rang all day. But that video that they did, if you've not seen it, go check out on the Pineville Rebels page.
I have to do that.
It was really a good touching video too. Sam Goodwin was on it too. Talked about his hiring of Coach Bachman and those times. But I encourage anybody that is not to go check out the Pineville High School page and take a look at that. A tremendous encouraging video from the folks there and Dr. Carl Carpenter. Second down and short, a minute 15. Expect Edna Karr to, thought maybe they might take a knee. Instead, Johnson's going to try to get into the end zone here. And they'll mark him short of it.
Yeah, and I will tell you this, Coach Bachman will be the first one to tell you that, hey, we have to stop them.
That's right. There's none of this, they're trying to score another one, take a knee, whatever it is there. Guys, when this one is over, because we're going to go down and visit some on the field, we'll get out of this pretty quick. Again, we will be at a basketball venue near you very soon. We'll be out at a baseball, softball field at the pitch. Will we be at the pitch?
Yeah, we'll be at the pitch and start in January. We're gonna do some soccer games, some soccer matches.
Matches, yeah. We don't need no stinking matches. Is that what it said?
Johnson, smart young man. He took the snap 5 yards deep. He went up right behind the line of scrimmage and kneeled. So he didn't lose those 4 yards.
That'll do it here from the Caesars Superdome. Edna Karr, the state champions in Select Division I. As this one runs out, we will wrap it up. That is another state title. It ejected Trojans team on the far sideline, but don't hang your head, gentlemen. You finished the season at 13-1, and just can't say there's a lot of class being displayed.
Yeah, I will say that. I mean, there you have a handful of them that are being, but you've got 5 or 6 of them that
are not.
Yeah, that went out and really made it a not too good gesture towards the Trojans.
Yep, guys, that'll wrap it up for us. For Brett Stallsby, Jason Crooks, all of our sponsors, all of our crew, my man Nick Magnano from the Caesars Superdome. I am Doug Gann. God bless you all, and we'll see you next year.